All right, welcome back to Man Down Sports. As you can see from the thumbnail, we have a really good topic, starting with Stephon Marbury and some things and some comments that he made while he was on the Mark Jackson podcast. Oh man, I love when these old school players, some of these retired players, especially the ones that was really good, that's not drinking the Kool-Aid with the program, get on these podcasts and start speaking their mind and start talking about what they see now in the league, and especially when it gets to the GOAT debate and stuff like that. So we're gonna get into what Stephon Marbury said, because I've done a video on what Marbury thought about the GOAT debate before, and he didn't pull no punches. Like, he was real honest about his assessment, and he was thorough with it. But the way he described it and explained it on Mark Jackson's podcast was even more thorough. Like, I'm gonna have to pause I'm gonna have to pause the audio like maybe twice to stop and talk on some of the things he's saying, because he says so much. So I get into all of that. I do want to shout out my members first, though. We had some members like Scott Merriweather upgraded to the All-Star level. I appreciate you, bro. He's been a member for 4 months, but he just upgraded to All-Star. Ashley H., one of the members, is Not That Serious. Keith Brazell, Mark Darnell, Right Hand Cam, Mikey Brass, Big T, Doc Holly 003, Andrea Williams, James Reed, Demetrius Day, Taco Master, Beast Mode Bones, 33 Sugi, Cedric Franklin, E. King, Steve Calvert, the Joker, 687, Unspoken Voices, Taco Master again, 64 Slim, Savon Arnold, Ryan Walters, Jay Barrett, WW, Shay J, R Bean, Jeffrey Garrett, that's Funky Town, Shot Rider West Side of 23, Michael Tafoya, and Wizman Ballin', man. We appreciate y'all for holding it down. More members only content coming tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Greg Anderson in the house. Yeah, I gotta feed the streets need a body. I didn't have anything this week, so I had to make sure I gave y'all something this week before the week was over with. But it was a holiday week, so we didn't have full panel Friday, and I was just thinking, I was like, man, it's been a while since I went a full week without dropping an episode. So better late than never. I wanted to get in here really earlier today, but I got busy with some stuff. But I was like, yeah, I got to get them something, and I got to get the members something this weekend as well. To be honest with you, I might do this episode tonight, and it was so much stuff that happened this week and last week. I really do have enough for a whole another full episode. So y'all let me know if y'all want me to do something tomorrow as well, early, on top of the members only content. Because it's enough material to get into, and I still haven't got into the current events what's going on in the NBA. I got to update my MVP ladder, my rookie ladder, my coach of the year ladder, my power rankings for the teams. Talk about some of the things we're seeing in this in-season tournament and so far in the first 2 months of the season. It's a whole lot of stuff we got to get into, and that's a whole nother episode, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, this episode is brought to you by Cali Strong. Cali Strong is one of our partners and one of our sponsors. That's why I get some of my fly hats and some of my fly t-shirts. I don't have on Cali Strong tonight, but I always got Cali Strong close by. Like, if I really wanted to put my Cali Strong on, I have my Cali Strong on. But they're one of our sponsors. You can use our promo code or our discount code, mandownsports, and you get 15% off when you buy Cali Strong. Go to their website. That's where you're going to be able to use the promo code to get the 15% off. But if you're in the California area, especially in San Diego area, you can go downtown San Diego and you can find the Flag House store, and you can go in there and you can shop. Tell them Man Down sent you, and you probably still get that discount. But I know for a fact, if you go online and you search Cali Strong and you're looking for the hats, the shirts, the t-shirts, the sweaters, all of those things, even the shoes and the longboards, you get that 15% off when you use Man Down Sports as the discount code. And And we're also brought to you by Underdog. Underdog Fantasy is the best place to play fantasy sports. I want to tell you about the easiest way to get in on some NBA action with Underdog Fantasy and their pick'em game. Just find your favorite player, or any player for that matter, pick higher or lower on that player's stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in one night. Pick between 2 or 5 players to fill your pick'em entry. Get every pick right, and you can net yourself some serious cash. Use the promo code mandownsports and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Plus, now that it's football season, you can follow Man Down Sports as we reveal our favorite picks from week to week. Like I said before, pick your favorite player, pick higher or lower, choose your dollar amount, and win some money. It's just that easy. Make picks, win money. We also want to thank Underdog Fantasy for partnering with us, and we want to thank you for helping the channel out by using Man Down Sports on Underdog Fantasy. All right, so want to make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit that share button. Let's get everyone in here that probably didn't get the notification. Let's get everybody in here because this show's gonna be pretty good. It's jam packed with a lot of content today. And I know it's late. Sports T was good. I see you in the house. Salute to you. I got members in here: Posh King, Taco Master, Greg Anderson, Sports T. Okay, good. I think we're ready to go. Appreciate everybody for being here on short notice and so late. You know what I mean? Especially when the Lakers game is on right now. Let me check the score. See who's winning this Lakers game right quick. Let me check this score. It's a 1-point game with 2.5 left in the fourth quarter. OKC up 92-91. So I'm gonna be keeping my eye on that. I got to go back and watch that game after I finish with this live. They have LeBron in the games. Yeah. I wish I could be white. I should. You know what? I probably should have waited just a little bit longer. Maybe I should have went at 9:30 just to finish watching that game. But you know, it is what it is, man. I wanted to catch y'all before y'all went to sleep, man. But all right, without further ado, man, Stephon Marbury was on Mark Jackson's podcast. And he was asked about a lot of things. And when he asked him about who the GOAT was, I'm gonna play for you what he said. This is pretty long. This is over 5 minutes long, right? So I probably let it play for 2.5 minutes. I'll stop it. We'll talk about what he said because he made so many points that I kind of want to touch on. No Diddy, but we'll break it up. I won't play this whole 6-7 minutes and bore y'all. But man, this is, I mean, the way I just play it. Here's Stephon Marbury.
That being said, who's your GOAT basketball player?
Jordan.
He just like, I'm in agreement.
What?
No, this guy.
No, it's great. Look, this question is great for every podcast. It should be a standard question. This should be an automatic question on every podcast for every player. As soon as they get off the podcast, it should be automatic by law. Who is
you got to answer
is the best basketball player? Who you think is the GOAT? Now, I love other people's answers when they say somebody other than Jordan and Kobe. I mean Jordan and LeBron, because I used to never put LeBron with Jordan. I used to always say between Kobe and Jordan, who you think is better? Because the mirror of that is so unbelievable that a human being can literally go and use a basketball and make the same moves and have the same mannerisms. For somebody to do that is unbelievable. And I mean, I picked Jordan first, but I think I picked Kobe second, and I couldn't pick him first because it's a copy. Okay. And it wasn't original, but he had originality in his game. Okay, don't get it twisted. Kobe game is the original, but he added Michael Jordan game to it. I say it like that because I say it in order so nobody won't get it twisted. Okay, and when I look at Kobe, I'm like, how is LeBron better than Jordan when he not better than Kobe?
Okay, that's the first off. All right, so he starts off. First of all, he asked him who the GOAT is. He didn't even think about it. You know, I see some people that be like, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like they don't want to say the first thing that come to their mind. They start thinking about what's going to happen after I say this. What is going to be the backlash, right? Am I going to get somebody from Clutch Sports to approach me? Am I going to miss out on an opportunity? Do I sound like the angry old man that's just trying to down this era of the NBA and say it's not as physical as the era that I played in? Am I going to look like that guy? So, am I going to look like the guy that's really just piling on LeBron? Because there's a lot of people who's been voicing their opinion about LeBron, and do I want to join that parade? So all these things go to your mind, and then especially if Bron is a former teammate or a friend of mine, how do I even say that? You get what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of things that go through their mind. Marbury didn't hesitate. As soon as he asked him, he said Jordan, and just stop. It was nothing else to say. It was Jordan. Like I don't even need to elaborate. Like what are we talking about? Like it's that simple for a lot of people. Like I mean, like what is it to talk about? Like LeBron's never been in the debate. If he was, it was very short period of time he was in the debate, and then after the Dallas series, it was like, all right, yeah, you're not cut from this cloth. You're not built like Jordan, right? And this is after he left Cleveland to run from the grind, right? People were still giving him a chance, even when he formed that super team. People were still giving him a chance to, be in that conversation. And then after Dallas, it was like, no. I mean, it's over, right? The conversation never restarted, right? So Marbury went on to say, how can I even entertain the Jordan and LeBron conversation when LeBron never even passed Kobe? And furthermore, he was saying if it's obviously Michael Jordan and this player and Kobe Bryant just went and just took the exact same blueprint and game, made it look exactly the same all the way down to the mannerisms, the way he walked, and everything on the court, which is more important because you're actually doing everything on the court. Every move that he'd had, he went and perfected it himself as well. He looked at it and was like, if that's the best player we ever seen, I'm going to copy that blueprint. You get what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't you study the best player that was ever played? Like, if you're playing the same position as him, right? Especially if you're playing in the same offense as him with the same coach, right? You got almost the same measurements. Both of y'all 6'6". Michael Jordan might have had a little bit more weight on him muscle-wise, but 6'6", athletic, long arms, agile, quick, can jump, all of that. I got all of this. Why am I not going to study the best? I'm not just going to study the best. I'm studying everybody just like Michael Jordan did, because Michael Jordan didn't get his game from studying one guy. He studied Dr. J. He studied David Thompson. He was Oscar Robertson. He studied all the big guards and probably more than that, right? So he's saying if Kobe went and duplicated that guy, how is it possible if we obviously say Michael Jordan is the best we've ever seen? How is it possible that Kobe's not the second best we ever seen? Right now, the way I do it, Jordan is the best player I ever seen. Kobe is the second best player I ever seen. However, when I do a GOAT list, just based on what we can put on paper for a resume, I think Kareem's resume is better than Kobe's. So the fact that Kareem was a great player as well and one of a kind, on top of his resume being so much better than Kobe's, I put Kareem number 2 on the GOAT list behind Jordan, and I put Kobe number 3. But when I'm just saying which player is better, it's Michael and Kobe, hands down. Draw the line right there. Michael, Kobe, draw the line, and then you can start talking about everybody else, right? So Stephon Marbury was like, LeBron has never passed Kobe. Like, he never passed Kobe. And last thing I say about that is, just like in baseball, they, when you're trying to figure out who's safe at the plate and they say the tie goes to the runner, that's how I talk about it in the GOAT debate when I'm making a GOAT list. Not the GOAT, because there's no debate for the GOAT. It's Jordan. But when I'm making a list of GOATs and trying to rank them 1 or 2 through 10, right? Because 1 is already solidified. The tie, or not even a tie, the advantage goes to the better, more polished, and complete basketball player on both ends of the floor. So that's the first thing I'm looking at. Who's more polished, who's more complete, who's playing both ends of the floor, right? More polished, more complete on both ends of the floor. Those are the things I'm looking at. Who is that? Who's that guy? And for me, outside of Michael Jordan, it's Kobe. So Kobe's going to have an advantage over a lot of players because he's better than them. He's better than everyone except Michael Jordan. So he has the advantage in this conversation, right? So your resume has to blow his out of the water for me to put you above him, which is how Kareem got above him, right? But you can't be a lesser player than Kobe and then be ranked above him. He's obviously a better player than LeBron James, right? So those are the things I look at first. Who's the better player, the most polished player, the most complete player on both ends of the floor? And then I go to who won more, because that's the only reason why you play the game. You play the game to win. So who won more while they was leading their teams, right? Who won more? And then I go to what's important when it comes to winning. Number 1 is scoring. Number 2 is defense. So I'm going to who's the most polished, complete player. I'm going who won. I'm going who played, who scored and who played defense, right? And then after that, when you can look at those things with your eyes, you use the stats to kind of validate what your hypothesis was. So when I watch 2 players play, I'm watching SGA play and I'm watching Luka play, right? Without looking at any numbers, I'm watching them play. And in my opinion, the better basketball player is SGA because he does it on both ends of the floor. If SGA scores at an A+ level at all 4 levels, he in the paint, mid-range, free throw line, 3-point line. He does it on the fast break. He does it with the ball. He does it without the ball. He does it in the post. Like when I grade him, if he grades as an A+ as an offensive player or a scorer, and Luka grades at an A+, that cancels each other out. Then when you get to the other end of the floor on defense, Luka grades at an F-, and SGA still grades at an A+. How can an A+ player not be ranked above an A+ F- player? That don't make no sense unless you just throw defense completely out of the way and say, we're not even thinking about defense. We're just thinking about what this guy can do on the offensive end, right? So if that's the case, then we're talking about the best offensive player or the best stat getter. We're not talking about who the best player is at basketball, right? So for me, it's Kobe. Listen to more Stephon.
I've been trying to figure that out. I'm like, why are we really having a basketball conversation? I mean, and they get mad at me and they say I'm like, I don't like LeBron because he said something about my shoes. I said, man, come on, man. This is straight. This is basketball. This is straight basketball. Okay. Now I go by like this from your brain when you play basketball. All right. When you watch Kobe play and you watch LeBron play, it's 2 different styles. Okay, it's 2 different thinkings. LeBron is pure 6'8" juggernaut, 280, different, wired, complete, different, strong ox, everything. Kobe is a real like designed, like, okay, let's think about how articulate he is as far as his brain, because he speaks another language. So that one, he sees the world differently. Culturally, he speaks another language. So the wisdom that's inside of him from him living abroad, along with playing soccer, footwork, completely different. right? Forget if he played on a team or not. Just he played. He understand the functionality of it. So footwork wise, you can see when he's on the court and how he plays the game, right? It's an art to shoot like those crazy ass shots that he make. Whatever he does, I wouldn't even try it. Okay, that's not my game. All right, that's I stay in your lane. I tried that one time and shot an air ball. I was like, I'm good. Like that's not. I tried practicing that, like working on that. I'm like, yeah, it looked good because the way they do it, it looked good. I like to cross and go to the basket and shoot a floater. But when you break this dude game down and you look at it, you like this dude has like the same type of ideology and kind of like what Jordan has. And when you break down the science of what he understands and what he learned from Dean Smith, okay, when you have this type of platform as a basketball player and you're taught from iconic human beings who play the game, right? And Kobe being young, playing professional basketball at a young age. You put these two dudes in the category. No disrespect to LeBron because he supersedes because he did and doing all the way he did from high school. So I'm saying he supersedes all of what these guys have done because of that. It's different. But when we talk about as a basketball player, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
My man LeBron James, he scores a lot of 2-pointers, so his field goal percentage is super high. From how many dunks he got? I guarantee you he got more than 1,000 dunks. Man, do you know what 1,000 dunks? Did you know what 1,000 dunks will do to your field goal percentage? Me and Mark. Your dad is a grasshopper. Okay, your dad is a grasshopper, right? Okay, right. The ones that don't jump. All right. So you know how hard it is for us to score 2 points every night for a guard. It's super duper hard to score 2 points in the NBA, right? So you got to know how to shoot. You got to have that mid range. Dude, the kid said, "Yo, why you keep saying LeBron James can't shoot?" I said, dude, he shot a fucking air ball at the free throw line. Not once, not twice. He did it more than 3 times. He shot an air ball at the free throw line. I said, you ever seen Jordan shoot a free throw at the air ball line? They said, yeah, he shot one. I said, okay, that's still Jordan though. They was like, see, y'all old heads like Jordan. I was like, that's right. He can't do no wrong. They was like, that's not fair. That's not fair. I said, look, I'll give it to you like this. If LeBron had a great field 3-point shooting percentage last year, right? The guy got mad at me because I say he should. This is year 20. I said, don't you think by year 20 he should have this should be I said it took him 20 years.
20
I
years.
said, that's great. He said, oh, you hating. I said, look, I'm making a joke and I'm playing. I said, of course LeBron can shoot. I said, but he's not a great shooter.
So he makes a good point, right? Because now people want to, and I ain't gonna say people, I'm gonna say LeBron fans want to use a good 3-point shooting percentage last year to try to make it seem like LeBron is a great 3-point shooter or a great shooter, period. Right? Great shooting translates, from everywhere on the floor, right? If you got good touch, in the mid range, and then you can shoot free throws, and then you can shoot threes, that's a great shooter. If your form is a good looking form, like people underestimate the fact that, so when you're raw, things look raw when you on the basketball court, even the way you run, the way you jump, the way you shoot, all the things you do. If you're a raw individual, you have raw skills, it's going to look raw. But the more you practice and work on it and work on your technique and perfect your craft, the more polished you look, right? We seen picture perfect jump shots, Steph, Clay, Ray Allen, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dale Curry. These jump shots are picture perfect, right? They look good. Kevin Durant. The reason why they look good, Kyrie Irving. The reason why they look good is because they put the work in it for it to look good. So I hate it when I heard JJ Redick on a podcast try to say that everything with Kobe just comes down to aesthetics. And then people just started repeating that, aesthetics. Oh, we're just talking about the way it looks, it looks good because it's a polished craft. Like it's a work of art. It's a finished product. It's not raw, right? It's not still being worked on. It's a finished product. Carmelo Anthony, jump shot, picture perfect coming out of college. So that would tell me that they've been working on their jump shot more and possibly longer than someone who jump shot looks robotic with bad mechanics, with elbows out, who's shooting a different jump shot from game to game, like Shaq changing his free throw shot almost every year. Your 3-point shot looks different from your mid-range shot. Your mid-range shot looks different from your it's just look different from your free throw. Like it's just crazy. Like you're shooting a different, really. You have to lean to the left to get, because it's a really good feel for right-handers when they're leaning to their left, right? LeBron leans to his left when he shoot because he had, it makes it easier for him to, get there on. I don't know. I can't explain it, but it's just easier for right-handers when they're leaning to their left. That's why some fadeaways, they're better going over one shoulder versus the other, right? So I know what he's doing when he leans to the left. He's trying to get that little comfort, but that shows that he really don't have the techniques down, right? Because that's really a no-no. You want to go straight up on your jump shot. You don't want to be off balance. Like he's off balance when he shoots his threes. He's leaning left every single time, right? So my point is this: we can't underestimate how good a jump shot look, because that means that you've worked on it. And when your jump shot looks bad and robotic, that means you haven't put in enough work, right? So it's a very telltale sign of who can and who can't shoot, right? That's number one. Number two, when he said he played forever, he in year 20, 21, 22, of course he should be able to hit the three. Like, you're a professional and you've been a professional for 22 years and you've been shooting tons of threes. You damn well better be able to hit the three a little bit average by year 22. But that's still nothing to brag about, because if I'm in the 5th grade with the people that was my age, or let's say I'm in the 8th grade with the people that's my age, they go on to high school the next year. I failed 8th grade because I wasn't good at math, right? And then I failed a second year because of math again. The 3rd year that I finally get a A in math, I can't go and brag about how good at math I am to the people that passed me over 2 years ago, right? The people that was in my grade, they got A's in math and went on to high school, and I failed twice because of math because I was getting F's. I wasn't good at it. My 3rd year, I get good at math, and now I'm trying to brag like I'm one of them. That's what LeBron is doing. He's playing so long that whatever achievements he gained while he's playing 22, 23, 24 years, he's going to turn around and be like, I'm just as good a scorer as Karl Malone, Michael Jordan, and Kareem, because I passed them all, and Kobe, because I passed them, and Dirk. And then when he, shoots a bunch of threes and finally shoot 35% from the three, he's going to say, see, I could have been doing this my whole career. I'm a great 3-point shooter. I could have been doing that. I just didn't want to. Now he gets to talk about how much of a better shooter he is than someone like Kobe or Michael Jordan, and then say he's in the same, conversations with James Harden and Ray Allen, because he's going to be I think he's in the top 15 of made threes. How many threes he shot, right? So he's just trying to tackle so many different narratives that he can tackle. So when it's all said and done, when we talk about him, like, man, this dude was top 10 in threes, rebounds, assists, and he's number 1 in scoring, and he got 3 championships, and he played 25 years, and he played with his son. Like this, he's building his resume for the debate of who was the greatest basketball player of all time. That's what he's doing. He's building it. And I think it's hilarious that people are actually thinking that this is something good. You cannot brag about failing 5th grade 2 straight years, and then you finally get an A in your 3rd year in math, and then say you're some great math whiz. It doesn't work that way. So that's all my thoughts. I'm gonna get to some of these comments while I open this phone line up, because what I want y'all to answer, I want y'all to call in and answer this question. Because what I said earlier is that the way I look at who is on the GOAT list after Michael Jordan, because there's no debate for Michael Jordan, number 1 is solidified. But if you want to go 2 through 10, when you're making that GOAT list, for me, my criteria is, first, I need to know the names of the people that you think are the GOAT, right? After Michael Jordan. So don't give me a name that you don't think is the GOAT, right? Don't come in here with the name Robert Horry because he got 6 rings or 7 rings, thinking that that's going to disqualify someone that legitimately has a stake in the GOAT debate, like Kobe Bryant. You can't come in and say, well, Robert Horry got 7. Do you think Robert Horry is the GOAT? No, you don't think that. If you got common sense, you don't think that. So take the Robert Horry name out of the way. Just bring me the names of who the GOATs are in your opinion. Who you think the GOAT is, right? After Michael Jordan. Who you think the GOAT is? Who you think the 2nd greatest player of all time is? Bring me whoever you think, right? Don't bring me somebody you think can take down someone else because of one thing. Bring me who you think the GOAT is. And if it's Kobe, if it's LeBron, if it's Duncan, if it's Bill Russell, Oscar, any of those names, bring them to me. And then what I would do with those names is I would find out who's the better basketball player when it comes to how polished they are, how complete they are on both ends of the floor, how much they won as a team leader, right? How great of a scorer they were, how great of a defender they were. And then I use stats to validate all of my hypotheses in all of those areas. That's how I do it. I want y'all to call in. I want y'all to tell me, what is your criteria when you're trying to figure out who number 2 is through 10? That's what I want to know. Phone number is on the screen. Posh King said it's Kobe. The KS said the more stats someone spits to make the case for LeBron, the less I listen. Sports T said Kareem. Somebody said AC Green.
Man, it was good.
Caller from New York. What's up, big dog?
What's going on, man? Listen, I think Kobe's the greatest of all time. But that's not a knock. Like, that's not me saying, yo, I think he's the greatest, so I think Mike is ass, or Mike is nowhere near him, or any. It's not a diss to Mike or Kareem, because I think those are the top 3. Me and you don't agree on the order. But I think it's Mike, I think it's Kobe, then it's Mike, then it's Kareem, and then I think after that it's just a toss-up, depending on how you feel on that particular day. But for me, it's Kobe hands down, and it's everything. It's everything. It's the skills, the mentality.
Well, give me your
leadership.
criteria. Give me your criteria.
I'm naming it right now for you.
Right,
I'm naming it right now for you. So it's everything. It's the skill. It's offensively, how you score, the type of bag you have, how clutch you are, winning, leadership, everything, championships, all of that. And the only thing that for me, if you wanted to make an argument, is that Kobe don't have the MVP. And in my opinion, I mean, I don't even think. I think that's a joke. I mean, he got 1. I think he should have at least 5.
Well,
at least 5 easily.
Well, for Kobe Bryant, it was politics on why he didn't get MVPs. He didn't get MVPs because he shouldn't have got them. He got them because it was politics. So we know that. I'm not even gonna hold that against him because it was politics.
Right.
But all the things you named. So you named everything, but where's the priority? Like what's priority 1, 2, and 3 in your criteria?
I mean, I don't have a particular order, but for me, I think it's offense, how you score, the type of bag you got. That's first and foremost. For example, Lobozo, he's number one in scoring on time. But would you ever say he's a top 30 scorer of all time? If you had to choose 29 players to score, you wouldn't pick Lobozo at all. So for me, offense is number one. Defense is number two. Winning. How much did you win? Were you the guy? Were you not the guy? So on and so forth. So it's a lot that goes into that. But those are a little bit of my list right there.
Okay, I can dig it. I ain't got no pushback.
Yeah, me and you, like I said, we agree on the top three. We just don't agree on the order. But like I said, it's not a knock against those two other guys at all. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Mike is right there behind Kobe. I think Kobe should have had more rings. Obviously, he went 2.5 years by himself in the middle of his prime.
Yeah.
No team, no nothing. While they roll out the red carpet for this guy, he get whoever he want. He get whatever coach he want. That's neither here nor there. So they left Kobe for 2.5 years by himself. And if you really want to be real, Pau Gasol, God bless him, I love him. But he did it with Pau and Lamar Odom as his third option. While this nigga over here, he got the whole league. He not only do he form big threes, the dude takes chunks of everybody who's a competition with him.
Hey,
For example,
that's funny you said that because that's the third topic.
I was watching some joint with Amon Shepard earlier, and obviously we know that Amon and J.R. Smith got traded over there. But if you really want to be real, like he did it in Miami, where he was taking chunks of everybody who was
correct
a problem or might who you know what I'm saying might be in competition. He did it in Miami and he did it in Cleveland. Look at them Cleveland teams, how loaded them teams was, man. Them Miami teams and Cavalier teams was loaded, son. And that's what he did, son. Yo, they got J.R. Smith and Amon Shepard, and the Knicks in return got nothing.
Yeah, hold on. Because you're going into my third topic. That's actually the third topic. So yeah, stick around for that, man. We'll go discuss that, man. I'll catch you on the next one.
All right, brother.
All right.
One.
All right, we got another caller from New York. What's good?
Hey, what up, man? Down.
What's up?
What up? Happy holidays, everybody. The chat, you too. Can you hear me?
Yeah. It's an echo, so shut your YouTube down.
Happy holidays, everybody. The chat, you too. It's an echo, so let me turn this down.
All right.
So this is my point. But you know it's me, it's Mel.
Yeah, your YouTube's still on. You got to shut it off.
Yeah, I just shut it off.
Okay. All right, go
This
ahead.
is my point. This is me, Mel. My point is this. Stats, this thing became a big thing when LeBron and all this started. Stats always for all ball players. Stats, that's fine and all that, but for basketball players, from the streets to NBA, this is how we always looked at it. For years, we just looked at it as eye test and what you can do as the main player on a team and how far you can get your team. That's how it's always been.
Correct.
This stats and all this other stuff got really banged, like really big because of analytics and stuff like that. But anytime that we watch ball, just as ball players we'll go to a park, watch somebody, be like, oh yeah, he nice. We didn't say what his stats was. We can tell. You knew what it was. Mike is always going to be number one. Kobe's number two. That's fine. And like I said in the chat, I think people got the argument wrong. I don't think that nobody's saying that LeBron's not a great player. He's just not better than Mike and Kobe. It's just that simple.
Correct.
Just look at their game. Just compare. I know everybody wants to talk about offense and defense. Just look at their game. Like, just serious. If you can shoot a jump shot, you can shoot a jump shot. If you can make a layup, you can make a layup. So LeBron has like a one-dimensional game. You know what I mean? Like, as he's getting older, you can see that he hits a three-pointer now. You see him hit like a jump shot. But that's as he's getting older. We're talking about when he was like 18, 19, 20, like in his peak. He was not doing none of that stuff that he's doing now. So I think people are seeing him doing it now. Like, oh, see, he got a jump shot. It took him like 20-something years to get that.
Correct.
So you can't, you know what I mean? So I just don't think it's I never thought it was a fair comparison. It's just not even close. And that's just really how I look at it.
No, you're right. So you basically saying your criteria is mostly what your observation. 'Cause I don't like to call it the eye test because people done gave the eye test a bad name. You know what I mean?
No,
but
that's
observation.
When we watch ball,
yeah.
As when we playing ball, nobody's sitting there going, "Oh, well, his jump shot is this Chris, or his layup is that Chris." When we on the court as ball players, we look at okay, you got a nice handle. Okay, you can shoot. We're talking about real deal, real life.
Correct.
What we're talking about, like in real life. When we get on the court, we look and go, okay, this kid can play. He's trash. We're talking about real life. Forget the whole NBA and what we think. We're talking about, forget the criteria. We're just talking about from when we, that's how it's always been. Correct. I don't know when all of a sudden now everybody say, well, you got to have a jump shot on the side, or this person got a finger roll. It ain't never been like that. And I always tell people when I had this debate, if you want to debate me about anybody who played before Jordan, if you want to say Dr. J, if you want to say Kareem, you can say all that. I'm not arguing with you because pretty much Michael Jordan is a carbon copy of what Dr. J was, Connie Hawkins and them. I'm in New York. I'm from Brooklyn. That's what I know. You know, this is what. So when the old timers used to talk, I used to listen to him because that's who Michael Jordan studied his game from. Now, he might have made it cleaner, he might have made it fresher in our eyes, but those dudes before him, Dr. J, I remember the stories from the old timers, how Harlem Looker and how the park used to be shaking. I remember that. So it's like, all right, if you want to say Dr. J, cool, because they never add Dr. J's like ABA career into it. They never do that. By the time we sing Dr. J when he was old, you know what I mean?
Correct,
but he was that dude, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people don't give Dr. J his. Michael Jordan Jumpman logo is really Dr. J's logo from jumping from the free throw. Yeah. Dr. J did that first. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let's give Dr. J his props. To many older time, they say Dr. J, Connie Hawkins, because they really seen these guys play. On street ball, ABA, stuff of that nature. So our generation really caught Michael Jordan like that whole wave. So we see him like, oh my goodness. But the people who's in the 70s, they be like, man, it's Dr. J, it's Connie Hawkins. And I don't never argue with those people because anybody after Jordan, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, and you kind of can't argue with them for anybody before Mike because it's not a fair argument because we've seen Mike's entire career.
Exactly.
Right. And we seen Kobe's entire career. We seen LeBron's entire career. So we can argue all of those guys, but the guys before Mike, it's not fair because all we got from them is highlights and stats. Right. So we didn't get to see their whole career. So it's an unfair comparison, and it shouldn't really be made. You just got to kind of got to give respect to the guys before Mike somehow, some way. Like you have to respect them for sure.
Me personally, this is how I look at it. I'm going to get off the phone so you can get to the show. But this is how I always looked at it. I always put like people like Dr. J and Kareem. I always put them somewhere else. I'll be like, they got their own mushroom. It's like a certain tier of players. To me, they got their own Mount Rushmore. They want some whole other stuff. If you want to do like Magic, Bird, Jordan, that's fine. But when it comes to Kareem and Bill Russell, them dudes on a whole nother level. They like on a whole nother. They have to deal with racism, or they have to deal with something completely different from any players like after them. So I don't even really put those guys in the debate. I put them like they over there, like they somewhere at a whole nother private table. Yeah. Then you can do then you can do. It's like that's their tier. They're like the original OGs, and then you can get to the Magic and the Birds. It's like a subsection for me. Now it's with the Wayne Wade and like Carmelo Anthony and all those guys. Then they're the next like third wave. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Like I wouldn't even put Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain. I wouldn't even put none of these people in like a top five because I think personally they're just different men and the things that they have to do socially and politically. And so I look at them dudes a little bit different. They're a little bit more than just basketball players. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Bill Russell had to deal with racism and playing in Boston.
No, I
That's
agree.
a different kind of conversation. You know what I mean?
Agree,
so.
And out of respect for them, you know what I mean? I'm not about to try to pick their game apart so I can put somebody in my era above them. Not doing it. Yeah.
They had to know.
Not doing it. It's just
all right, man. Have a good holiday, man. I'll let y'all get to it.
All right, brother.
All right.
So the comment on the screen from Simple Cleaning. The eye test is the worst evaluation of a basketball player. I can tell by you saying that that you value stats over the eye test. And I think evaluating a basketball player with stats is the worst evaluation because you're not even putting your eyes on the player. You're just using math. Hey, DC, cut YouTube off in the background.
All right.
Yeah, it's off, man. What's going on?
Hold on.
God, King.
Let me get this comment out real quick. So the eye test, right? That's the purest way you can study it, or the purest way you can really judge a basketball player, because you have to look at someone to see what you're judging, right? The most powerful this is the most powerful testimony in the court of law is an eyewitness. I actually seen him steal that wallet, or I seen him steal that car, or I seen him do X, Y, and Z, commit whatever crime. I saw it with my own two eyes. That's the most powerful weapon you can use when you're judging anything, versus you just coming in with some stats and analytics, right? So you tell me which one can stand alone, what I saw or what you're showing me on with stats. Which one did you trust more? If I came to you and said you have to use one without the other, which one do you want? Do you want to actually see the player play, or do you want me to just give you the stats? Make that make sense. And I want you to let that sink in for a little bit. Which one can stand alone by itself? That's the one that's the most powerful. If I bring you video footage of all these players' games and say that you can judge how good this player is versus another player, or I'm just going to bring you the stat sheets of both players and you tell me which one is the better player, right? I want you to think about that. All right, Posh King, you got to cut YouTube off, brother.
Oh, shit. I don't know what's going on, but it's off. Can you hear me better now?
I can hear you, but I'm echoing really bad. Go ahead and say what you. I'm not gonna be able to answer you back. Go ahead and say what you got to say and get off, because I'm echoing.
Oh shit! All right, now what I'm saying is, Jordan and Kobe pretty much the same in everything. So if people really want to separate them, what I'm saying is Kobe is a master student and learn everything from Jordan. So you really see where his ball handling skills and his shooting technically is a little bit better, but it's give or take in any game or whatever shot you make or whatever. But Kobe definitely had a better three ball. Defense and everything was better. I'm just saying, to me, one is better because one, Kobe got the opportunity to learn from Jordan, and he was a master student and learning from other players. So that's my take on it. Why? Because like you, I use my eye test. I use what I see. I look at silhouette. So even if I didn't see Jordan like when he was just coming in the league or seeing him in his prime or whatever, I could look at his tape, seeing how he moved, how he get his shots off, how he played, and know that, well, he was a superior player in whatever era. So my thing is, Kobe had the opportunity to learn from him and soaked up everything from him. And I think Jordan himself even knew that and saw that and respected that, you know. And yeah. I really think they played one-on-one, but just not going to talk about it. And I think Kobe got the best of him. They had to play. They had to play. Man, Jordan too competitive and Kobe wanted too much. They had to play. But remember, I want to say one thing before I go. I saw an interesting video the other day of the All-Star 98 game, and Jordan was sitting in the locker room, and Jordan was like, that little Laker kid, oh, he's not waiting for it. He's going to come take it from y'all, you know?
Yeah.
And then in that same game, they benched Kobe for the last 18 minutes of the game because you just gotta see stuff like that. 19 years old, man, 1998. And they benched him like, you ain't about to come spoil this. And they wanted to do the same thing in 03, but Kobe had clout. And he said, Jordan gotta earn it. And he came out and iced the game and won that MVP in 03. Because he had clout in 03. So he could have said, like, nah. And they couldn't bench him this time. Yeah. So for me, Kobe just had the privilege to learn from Jordan. And it's just, if Jordan was born after Kobe, I would have been here saying Jordan is the best because he had the privilege to learn from the previous before him. So for me, that's my take on it. Kobe just had the privilege to learn from his father, who was the best in a sense, metaphorically, you know?
Yeah, facts. I'm with you on that.
Bet.
All right, bro.
right.
Yep. Yeah, so Jason the Kid and Simple Cleaning, yep, boy, y'all wearing this eye test thing out, man. So he said, Jason the Kid said eye test is stupid. Everybody's eyes are different. You're right. Right. So if a person get up on a stand and he's trying to be an eyewitness on the stand, and I come in there and be like, hey man, what's your vision, man? Do you wear glasses? Yeah, I wear glasses. Okay. So the night that you seen what you seen, did you have your glasses on? No, I didn't. How far were you away from what you seen? I was about 40 feet. All right. So now I can't trust your eyes and your testimony because you probably didn't see clearly in the first place. Why am I saying that? Because if you don't know basketball and you can't see clearly when you're looking at something on the floor to translate it to actual some type of conclusion, right? Then I can't trust your eyes for sure, right? So yeah, you're right. Everyone's eyes is not the same. If you started watching basketball because you're from Ohio and someone from Ohio like LeBron got drafted number 1 to Cleveland, and you just started watching basketball as a grown man, you never played it, right? And the only thing you know about basketball is what you learned from ESPN, from Nick Wright and Shannon Sharp about LeBron, and you're only following him as a groupie or as a LeBronite or whatever the case may be, then yes, your eye test is going to be worth nothing. Use at your own risk. You can't use it. Therefore, you have to go to the stats, right? People that know basketball can look at basketball and give a real good assessment, right? By observation. I see that all the time. I see kids that they might be in 6th grade. Their parents think that they got something, special, but they don't know because they don't, they never played professionally or collegiately, right? So what do? They go grab someone who did play collegiately or professionally. I want you to assess my kid, work him out, tell me if he got a shot, right? They didn't go and look at their stacks. They say, give me your kid. I'm going to work him out, and I'm going to show you if he got what it takes and what he needs to do to get to where he needs to go. That's called an assessment. That's by observation. That's not looking at any stats, right? You can't scout someone with the stat book. You're going to scout them by watching them play. You have to use your eyes. There's no blind scouts. Like show me the blind scout that's just that's just reading Braille and saying, oh, these stats are bad, right? Oh, yeah. Show me that guy. Show me the blind scout. And then I will throw the eye test away. I will throw out observation if you show me the blind scout, Jason the Kid, or Simple Cleaning. Show me the blind scout. Greg Anderson, what's up, bro?
What's going on? I'll show you a blind scout. His name is JJ Redick because he's been turning a blind eye all year to all these turnovers LeBron been making. Hey, but check this out. I got a different criteria for my top 10. But first, let me go over my top 10. Right
okay.
Quick. We already know MJ number 1.
Correct.
But Kobe, Magic, Kareem, Bird, LeBron, Wilt, Hakeem, West. And I put West over Shaq because you got to be a bad boy to win Finals MVP and to lose in that. That stuff legends I made up. Like that stuff like that don't even happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? You lose the finals, but you win Finals MVP. That's dope. But let me go over my criteria right quick. Yeah, everybody talks about eye tests and stats and all of that. This is my criteria because, like, when you that great, you splitting hairs. Like all of these guys, they some bad boys. But
correct.
I look at the teams that they won with, right, and I say, all right, if you swap this guy on this team, would they have the same amount of rings? And that's how I look at it. So, all right, so Kobe being number 2. If you put Kobe on them MJ teams, he probably get about 5 rings because he plays so similar to Mike. It would have allowed Pippen to be Pippen, much like Lamar Odom was able to play his version of Pippen, and the offense would have flowed the same way. Magic, the same way. You put Magic on Larry Bird's team, back with the Celtics or whatever, he winning all them rings, so he still got his. Kareem the same way. Bird, you can swap him out with several teams. Now, LeBron, like with them top four, if you put Mike on any of those LeBron teams, man, Mike might have 10 championships. I ain't even gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? If you put him with 4 straight years, I don't give a damn if Wade needs start getting back. You put him with 4 straight years with Ray Allen, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Mike Miller, Shane Battier. Give him 4 years. Old Rashad Lewis. It don't matter. Give him. He went with Rodney McCray. You give him 4 straight years of those rosters. Man, tell me he ain't getting 8.
You know, it's tough. It's tough because I mean, in that hypothetical, you have a player that comes in with a certain skill set, and you have a GM build a team around his skill set. So doing a swap for superstars with totally different skill sets, you know, it's kind of hard to say who could do what with which team, because with LeBron, we know his formula is he's going to have 4 shooters on the floor with him. At least 3 shooters, right? So he has to have 2 shooters at the corner and 1 on the weak side of the arc, right? And then his big man can be his screen and roll guy, right? Or his big man can also be a shooter and just had a flow spread, and it don't matter who set the screen for him, they're picking and popping, and he get into the paint with no defense there, because the big man is at the 3-point line, right? So that's his formula, right? Now, if you grab Jordan and throw him in there, in order to get that to work, I don't know what offense you would have to play. I don't know. Maybe Jordan would have to play like LeBron, which is the reason why when LeBron leaves a team, they don't perform that well, because the team was always designed for LeBron to have the ball in the middle of the floor, get a high screen and roll, get downhill, and find shooters all over the floor, right? Now, when you take LeBron out of that offense, how are they going to operate?
But that leads to my point, Mel. LeBron is the only one of these players that doesn't know how to play within a structured system. That's outside. That's not a ball dominant LeBron pick and roll top of the key. Matter of fact, that's why. Look, if LeBron wants to be the GOAT, it'll have to be like a 2-on-2 tournament. He needs a screen and be able to go downhill, because he ain't got no one-on-one bad work.
That's why that's why he said one-on-one is not real basketball. Because So back to my point, like if you swap these guys out, like, all right, well, just think about like Kobe. Kobe, they always try to put the knock on Kobe. He played with Shaq and he won all of them championships. Man, LeBron done played with the whole damn Redeem team. Carlos Boozer, Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony, Westbrook.
He didn't play with the whole damn Redeem team. But you're talking about Kobe played with Shaq.
Correct.
But Kobe won with Paul Gasol. You think he couldn't win with Anthony Davis?
Correct.
Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. If you swap these guys out, they're gonna be better than 4 and 6.
Fair enough.
These guys that's at the top.
Fair
these
enough.
guys that's at the top level. That's how I look at it.
That's fair enough, because Kobe almost swept the Orlando Magic team that almost swept LeBron in the same year, man. So that's a good point, man. I mean, I appreciate the call, Greg, man.
I'll take it off there.
All right, bro. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to super chat. I appreciate the super chat. John Wayne, 1999. $20 super chat. I test tonight. LeBron entered the game at 3:55 down, 91-87. First time touching the ball, turnover leading to free throws. Next time, 3-point brick. After that, straight to the corner. Wants no part of the ball. Game over. Lord have mercy. All right, last call on this topic. Caller from Pennsylvania. Shut YouTube down in the background. And Simple Newbie, thanks for becoming a new member. Appreciate it, brother. Go ahead, caller from Pennsylvania.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, hey, one thing, one important thing I wanted to say before I, speak my piece. Is it cool if I, network with you, my new YouTube channel and all that, and hopefully, that's fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Find the Man Down Sports Facebook page and DM me on that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. You on Instagram or by any chance?
Oh yeah. You can find me on Instagram too. Man Down Sports. I think it's Man Down Sports. Find Man Down Sports on Instagram and you just send me a DM. We'll chat.
Okay. I appreciate that. And basically, it's pretty much the same thing everybody's saying, man. Listen, bro. Kobe, Jordan, these guys didn't cheat the game, bro. You know what I mean? These guys put work in, and and it just shows. Kobe don't really talk. They didn't really talk much, when he was out here. Jordan, the same thing. They don't really talk that much. You know what I mean? As you can see, I don't know if you've seen some clips out there, like Magic and Jordan, like they like to. In Philly, I'm from Philly. We say bid. Bid is laughing and joking, and just enjoying some time. You know what I mean? Enjoying each other. You know what I mean? And just cracking the fuck up. Excuse my language. They like to bid, as you can see. Like, I think Jordan really be laughing and bidding off these guys that really false pretending like they actually doing something, and they really don't. You know what I mean? Magic and Jordan especially. Like, I know they be bidding off these guys, especially LeBron. It speaks for itself, as you could look at the players that's into today's game, and everybody, usually when you ask these young guys that's coming in, even WNBA and the fans, they usually talk about Steph and KD. They don't, when I go to basketball courts and I go to these rec centers, the kids are wearing KD sneakers, Steph sneakers, Kyrie's and stuff like that. They don't really usually wear Bron sneakers. They don't really usually talk about Bron. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, it shows. It's not like, it's not like something that you just turn your TV on or your YouTube channel on and you listen to ESPN tell you all kind of BS all day. And Stephen A. Smith, he and all those jokers, they got a lot to play in this false narrative, and claiming that Bron is second to none. Like, no, that's not even supposed to be up there. That's disrespecting Kareem, Magic, Bird, Kobe. A lot of these guys, Bron is not in my top 10 at all. You know what I mean?
Sheesh, you ain't even got him in the top 10?
No, bro. You know why? There's a reason why. He's not even. It may be not even maybe top 10, or he's definitely not my top 10. But I'm thinking about he probably not even my top 15. He might be my. I don't know. Because, bro, my thing is this, right? I love accountability. I love what Melo is doing with his son, Kion. That accountability, telling the coach, high school games. I've seen some telling the coach, you got to take him out the game, coach. He's not playing very well. The other guys that deserve that spotlight right now. I like people like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's what, come on, man. I could keep going on and on. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, these guys, like this Joker that actually cheated the game, and KD too. But it's like, I don't want to say but for KD, but I want to say but for KD because KD can actually ball. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
He can actually play. But I don't know why he even made that stupid decision. You know what I'm saying? That really put a smut on his jacket. You know what I mean? He's better than that. You know what I mean? But KD, Bron is actually competing with the likes of KD and Steph. He shouldn't be reaching that far. Kobe and Mike and all these guys, because Steph actually is trying to get another fifth one, and you know what I mean. Steph and KD actually swept you. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we not talking about that? We're in a light that where's in NBA history where we crown somebody a GOAT, or the person crowned self proclaimed, that they're the GOAT when you got swept 2 times early on in your career and later on in your career. So what have you learned from that? You know what I mean? You got swept in 2007, you got swept in 2018. No excuses. You know what I mean? And you choked in one or two finals. You know what I'm saying? Like finals series. Like you folded in few finals. Like how we calling you a GOAT?
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of things that kind of disqualify him, and it's not really for me it's because we seen a player that grades way higher than him. We actually seen two players that grade higher than him, Kobe and Mike, right? They grade way higher than him. It's not unless he gets better at basketball. It's too late for him to get better at basketball.
Too late.
His opportunity was in his first 8 years, and if he didn't get better at basketball than Kobe and Mike, it was going to be impossible for him to pass them on the list for me. You have to be better than them, and then you have to build a resume better than theirs. You can't go and cheat the system to cherry pick things that you want on your resume. Oh, I want the scoring title, so I'm going to work out and so I can play long enough. You know, I'm gonna work on my body more than I work on my game, because I know I need to play long enough to get Kareem's record. And if I get Kareem's record, then that's a great argument for the GOAT. Kobe wasn't thinking like that. Kobe looked at Mike and said, "That is the best basketball player I've ever studied. I'm gonna make everything I do on the court just as crisp and just as polished as his, because I want to be that good." That's a different approach. Kobe said, I'm watching Mike play and I'm seeing everything that he can do. I'm going to pick his brain about everything he thinks of and how he approaches things mentally. And then I'm going to find out what he works on by watching him and asking him questions. And I'm going to go and actually do the work to work on it. LeBron, on the other hand, was like, I'm looking at everything Mike has on his paper resume, and I'm going to figure out some type of way where I can get there. Instead of making my game as good as Mike's, I'm going to go and get players that can help me achieve 6 rings. He was trying to catch 6 rings, so let me build teams that can help me get 6 rings the easy way. Right. Let me make my path easy in the East by grabbing all these players, Rashard Lewis, Mike Miller, Ray Allen. He grabbed J.R. Smith, all these dudes off of teams that he should be competing with, Jordan Wade and Bosh, crippling all these other superstars teams. I'm strategically doing things to make sure I can get 6 rings, and he still didn't get it. Right, he still didn't get it. So he had a plan for 6 rings. Then he had a plan for the stats. If I continue to average all this stuff close to a triple double, and I'm looking at it, he did the math. Let's look down the line. 20 years from now, where would I be? Oh man, if I get to that, then who can say I'm not the GOAT? He Kareem did the whole totally different way.
That's Kareem formula right there.
Yeah,
he studied Kareem formula. But go ahead.
Nah, I mean that's it. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, it's sad, bro. It's really sad, man. And I got a question for you. What do we like? How do we like? I mean, y'all fighting a fight, and I appreciate you guys, all of you guys, Dreamer Pro, all these guys, Ticket, and all these guys. Like, I appreciate you guys, man. You too, like you and your panel and all that. Appreciate y'all to keep, kind of correcting the narratives, the false narratives, and y'all really fighting the fight on YouTube, and I appreciate y'all. But what else is it that we need to keep doing for the youth, because they're gonna keep going on with this lies in their head, and
the only thing we can do for the youth is we have to be consistent and loud with calling out how bad and trash the NBA is right now. Because the NBA is contributing to some of this, because they're rewarding players like Luka, and he's not playing no defense. He's never played any defense, right? All he does is be ball dominant, jack up 30 shots a game, 15 threes a game, and rack up assists. And we're bragging and celebrating that, because we're confused on what a triple double means. Right. A triple double don't mean the same thing now as it used to mean, because now players are playing a style of offense that is almost impossible for you not to get close to a triple double. Like if I give my best player the ball and say, "Hey, look, you're going to run the point guard. which we know what the point guard really is supposed to run the offense, set the offense up, set the table, and make sure your players are getting their shots right. You set the table, right? You make sure your best player get the ball when he needs it, when his spots. You make sure if you see a mismatch, you call a play for that mismatch. You make sure if a player is working, we continue to call that play to get this guy open. And then when all of that fails, you can get early offense on the break. If you play good defense, y'all get a rebound, point guard to run the break, or in the middle of you running the play, you can break that play and then get to the hole when your man ain't paying attention. That's what point guards do, right? But now what the point guard does now is he's really playing one-on-one basketball, because when you spread the floor with 5 men out, everyone's at the 3-point line. There's nobody in the paint. So now all you got to do is beat your man, and either you're getting to the rim for a layup or the helper is going to come, and now you can pass it to a 3-point shooter and get the assist, right? So it's really stat padding assists. When you're designing an offense where only one player is designed to get an assist, how's he not going to get 10 assists a game? Right. So and then he's also the player that you're giving 30 shots to a game as well. Right. So if you give a player if you give a player as good as Harden, as good as Westbrook, as good as LeBron, as good as Luka, if you get him 30 shots a game and the ball as a point guard to get all the assists, you're locked in for 20 and 10 right there. Now, what happens on defense is every player, Harden, Westbrook, Luka, LeBron, every player that plays that style of offense got permission to take the least challenging defensive assignment so you can rest on defense, because you're doing so much offense. They want you to be able to rest on defense. Plus, we can't let you get in foul trouble, because if you're the entire offense, we can't sit you down. Right. So those players get the rest on defense and guard the man that's in the corner. And guess what? The rebounds coming. If everyone's shooting 30 to 43s a game, guess what? That rebounds coming. If I'm the point guard guarding the player at the top of the key taking the shot, I gotta box him out, so I'm not getting that rebound. The guy that's guarding the corner, because I never see that guy in the corner crash the boards when that 3-point shot got up. He always gets back on D to stop the fast break. So the guy that's guarding the corner, Luka, Harden, Westbrook, LeBron, they always are in the right position for a long rebound.
Right.
Always.
That makes sense.
So you're locking your best player in for triple double stats, and now we're just celebrating triple doubles like it means the same thing like when Oscar was getting or J Kidd was getting or Rondo was getting. But let me take your comments off the air, man. I'm gonna get to the next topic, man. I appreciate
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no
I'm
doubt.
gonna DM you.
All right, no doubt.
Thank you.
The last thing Marbury said on this thing, and then we'll move on.
I said LeBron James is the best all-around player that this game will ever see. It won't be nobody like him. But he will never be better than Michael Jordan. I'm sorry.
And with that, he puts his bag back on.
I mean, I get irritated talking about it sometimes, because I'm like, how can't you guys see this? I'm like, the program can't be that deep. It's impossible. I was like, oh, you guys just. I said, first of all, if Jordan played with these rules, I think David Stern will come back to life. If these rules could be applied and you put this with that, I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. It's literally, and the players say they literally like they can't literally. Can you imagine a guy going to the basket and he's looking at him like he can't touch me and going to the basket, and then when they touch you get an and one. Can you imagine? I played against Derek Harper. Oh my God. He rip you, he grab you and then rip you, and the referee can see he grab you. Can you imagine? That's who I played against. I was like, he told me he was gonna rip me. I was like, nah, you ain't gonna rip me. It's like I bet 100 on it. I was like, He's like, bring that 100 to the hotel, young fella. I was like, nah, you ain't gonna rip me. We played against him. He was your calm. He didn't get me that game, right? I was like, yo, that 100. He was like, don't worry, you're gonna bring it back to me. We played against them. Second time we played against them, I forgot all about the bet. Half court. Hit me. I tried to turn. Scoop. Yo, do you know when he went to the basket, he slowed down. He ripped me in open court by myself. Like everybody, the worst is to get ripped when you up running the offense. I got ripped 3 times like that. I got ripped 2 times like that in the game, and I got Will Bynum, and he reminded me of that, and I reminded him that in China. Yep, I said home crying.
That's the New York City coming out. That's the Coney Island coming out.
What he basically saying is, man, this era don't play defense quite the same as the era he came up in, and that's true. And the physicality is not quite the same. So what he's saying is like, man, just imagine Michael Jordan in this era of basketball. I mean, you don't understand. Like seriously, man, the paint wide open and you can barely touch them. Man, it'll be over. Man, forget all of that. Shout out to Wraith Mace with the $2 super chat. When LeBron retires, media will hype a new MJ rival. Possibly. It's always going to be the MJ talk. Like once LeBron retires, the next guy that they throw into the GOAT debate, they're going to be comparing to MJ as well. They won't be comparing him to Kobe or LeBron. They'll be comparing him to MJ. Right. So that's what it is. We just haven't seen anything better than MJ. I want to see something better than MJ, man, because I don't want to believe that basketball is such in a decline that the environment doesn't exist where you can create another player as polished, as good as MJ on both ends of the floor, right? But hard times create hard men, and soft times create soft men, right? So the environment is not just responsible in the basketball realm, but the America landscape as well. So how we're raising our kids now in society, also how we're raising them in the basketball world is it's the environment that's going to be responsible for creating our best players, our greatest players, right? So if we're making the NBA easier by taking away physical defense and giving them more softer defense, you're not going to create a player better than MJ. It's scientifically impossible, right? You don't get the same diamond with less pressure, right? You have to have more pressure to create, take a lump of coal and turn it into a diamond, right? So you can't use less defense and create a better player, right? Because for one, the player is not going to be as good on defense, right, as a player, because defense is almost illegal. But then he don't have the type of defense that's going to force him to get in the lab every freaking summer and bring something new to his game every year. Like Mike had to do something different every single year to be able to compete against how that defense was, right? You no longer have to do that anymore. All you have to do in this era is, if you're not good enough to beat a team, all you got to do is go grab better all-stars to join you instead of making your game better. And that's what LeBron has taught us. All right, let's move on to the next topic. And since we're on the topic of Kobe Bryant, I keep going with Kobe Bryant. And this is Will Barton on what podcast was he on? It's called Sheesh. I can't believe I forgot this podcast. And I like this dude. I like this dude enough not to forget. First of all, let me get to this this cash app I got from Posh King. $24 cash out for number 80 for 81 for the GOAT. And he's talking about Kobe. He sent 24. So I appreciate that. I need to find out the name of this the name of this daggone podcast. I'm not gonna forget to shout him out, man, because I like his podcast too much. Not to shout it out. Why am I forgetting it though? I think I know what it is, but I don't want to say it wrong. Let me see. There we go. Ball Don't Stop podcast, man. I like that dude, man. So Will Barton was getting an interview on Ball Don't Stop, and you know, he talks about Kobe a lot because he understands the game. He talks about Kobe a lot. Last time I seen him had a former player on there was Isaiah Thomas, not the legend, but the younger one. And he was talking about Kobe, and he was like, you know, just describing like, man, it's not even close, man. These dudes, you know, other than Michael Jordan, but he said anybody that came around the same time as Kobe or after Kobe, he's like, it's not even close, man. Isaiah Thomas was saying that. And it was interesting to hear how Will Barton talked about him because Will Barton had to guard Kobe a lot. So listen to what Will Barton said about Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. Take us through that. What made him what we consider the best that's ever done it?
You know, he took the previous GOAT, you know, who I believe was the best ever, took his game and not only mastered it, but I think he was a little bit better at it. You know, I just truly do. It was like more redefined, and it was more with a little more flair with it. Besides the athleticism part, but you look at the jabs, the post work, the midi work, right? The finishing around the rim, making and taking tough shots, and to do it that often and be that polished. Like we're talking about guys guarding Kobe, and they would guard him like this while he's shooting. He might have been the first player to ever be literally guarded like that.
Shane Battier did that to it, remember?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I think Kobe was the first player to ever get guarded like that, right? Sometimes double team like that, and he's still making these shots, and they're not rolling around the rim, going in. I mean, these are swishes. The biggest knock I see on sometimes Mike and Kobe when it comes to LeBron, it's like, oh, LeBron is a better just overall basketball player. And mainly people talk about the passing, right? And I tell people all the time, Kobe and Mike were gifted passers. But the object of the game, the most important thing in the game is the score, no matter how you slice it. And they understood that. So they were always trying to get buckets. You had to literally stop them to make them pass. And I feel like that's how the game is supposed to be played. You're always supposed to put pressure on the defense and make them stop you. So that's why I feel like, you know, those two are on another level. I feel like it's Mike and Kobe and then everyone else. And I feel like Kobe is a little better than Mike.
Take us through.
Sheesh. So that's an interesting take because I don't have Kobe over Mike. I think I think they're both the best two players I've seen and observed, right? Were there others before them that I wasn't able to observe that was probably as polished and as good? I'm quite sure. You know, World Briefer was pretty good. David Thompson was pretty good. You know, he had problems with, you know, he had substance abuse problems and stuff like that. So we probably didn't get to see the best of him, but there was a lot of polish and good basketball players. But both ends of the floor, Mike and Kobe, very complete, very polished, in everything they did. They was perfectionists, right? They worked on things. Wherever they shot the ball from, it was picture perfect, right? You know, the release point was right, the rotation was right, the form, the shot mechanics, the base, the foundation. Like, you know, Ray Allen talked, and Ray Allen is a sharpshooter, one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time. Can still be arguably in the argument with Steph. And yes, Steph shot more threes and hit more threes than him, but I don't think it's just a foregone conclusion that it's Steph. Ray Allen could very well be still in that conversation, right? If there's a debate to be had. So coming from Ray Allen, who's a sharpshooter and one of the greatest sharpshooters of all time, he called Michael Jordan a sharpshooter. Right. He said, no, like what you don't understand about Mike is he's a great shooter. Not good, great. Right. I think Kobe was the same way. They were great shooters. They were so great that their mid-range jump shot was just as good as some people's shots at the rim, right? You know, because Mike and Kobe shot a lot of jump shots from the mid-range, 1 to 2 dribble pull-ups. They shot a lot of fadeaways out of the post. Those were their shot. They shot a lot of fadeaways out of the mid-post, high post, back to the basket type stuff. That jump shot was so good. I think Mike shot it at, you know, where his field goal percentage was close to 50, about 49. I think Kobe's was close to 45, right? So if Mike is shooting it at almost 50% and more than half of his shots are jump shots with a hand in his face, and Kobe is shooting at 45% and most of his shots are jump shots with a hand in his face, it's some people like Ray Allen who I mean, like Ray Allen's a shooter as well. He was shooting at 44%. And no one's giving him the label of being inefficient or not a good scorer or inefficient scorer or nothing like that. Like there are a lot of people who shot it around. Most all the jump shooters, if you shoot jump shots for a living, you're not going to be shooting, like you got to be MJ to be shooting at 50%. But when you're shooting jump shots, you're shooting a harder shot. You're shooting a mid-range with a hand in your face. You seen how Shane Battier used to contest Kobe's jump shots, hand right in his eyeball. Like he was taking those type of shots, right? He was accepting the challenge of the harder task, because trying to get all the way to the rim all the time is very elementary, right? The first thing you learn in basketball is dribble the basketball, and then the first shot you try to learn is probably a layup. You got to learn how to do a layup. And if you're fast and you can dribble well enough, you can, you know, all the way up to 5th grade, you probably can dribble past every slow person and get a layup. They can't stop you from getting to the lane and getting a layup. So running past somebody really fast by dribbling and getting a layup or a dunk is the most elementary way to score the basketball, right? But when you start adding things to your game, you got to have an in-between game. Even before you develop that three-point shot, your in-between games got to be there, right? Because what happens when they condense everything and there's a lane clogged up and you're playing against a zone in high school or middle school, right? Everything can't be, I'm getting all the way to the rim. It's 3 in a 2-3, it's 3 dudes down there. It's 3 dudes down there. So driving through that, trying to get all the way to the rim is not happening, right? You've got to be able to get somewhere in that mid-range area and pull up for a jump shot or throw a runner or some type of floater or anything like that. You got to have that in-between game, that mid-range game in your repertoire. That's a step up. That's an advanced shot. Getting all the way to the rim for a layup is the first shot you learn. Mid-range is an advanced shot. Then you got to be able to hit your free throws. That's, I mean, to be professional, especially if you're a wing player who's going to have the ball a lot, you're going to get fouled a lot. You got to be able to hit your free throws. Those are 2 areas where LeBron does not, he doesn't supersede over a player like Michael Jordan or Kobe. Bad free throw shooter, bad in-between game, bad post game. So what does he excel? At the elementary stuff. I can get all the way to the rim and get a layup. And because I'm fast and I can get to the rim, some people back off of me and give me wide open threes. He don't even have to work for his threes. They give him his threes. No one has ever backed off of Kobe 6 feet and said, take that wide open 3 or take that wide open shot at all. Or let's put him on the free throw line in the 4th quarter, right? No one's doing that for Kobe Bryant, right? So Will Barton makes a very good point about Michael Jordan and Kobe being 2 of the best, and then there's everybody else. I actually agree with him on that. I see my girl Sports T in here. What did that comment go, Sports T? If I can find it. I can't find Sports T's comment. Where did it go? There we go. So many of these range shooters can't shoot the mid-range. Facts. They don't want to. It's not even a good shot no more. And we'll get to that in a minute. Every time LeBron hits a shot, he's surprised. Yeah. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. But no, but that, I mean, I'm glad Will Barton was able to say that. Like I said, man, that was on the podcast. Ball Don't Stop, man. My mind is all over the place, man. Ball Don't Stop podcast, man. I love that dude, man. He got a lot of knowledge of the game, man. I wonder if he played overseas somewhere. I just like the way he talk about the game, man. We probably had a good conversation if we ever chop it up, man. But yeah, no phone calls on that, man. I just want to throw that out there. But I am gonna take phone calls on this next topic. So I was listening to Stephen A. Smith talk about LeBron last week, and Stephen A. Smith has been on LeBron's case a lot lately. Talking about Cayenne Anthony going to Syracuse and how he respect the way Carmelo and Lala handled and brought him up and handled his situation of him getting his college opportunity and his scholarship and all that stuff, man. He said, he liked the way he handled it. And he said, LeBron, take notes, right? Then he called him out for some other stuff. And, he's just been on LeBron case real heavy, right? And he said something that I didn't see a lot of people comment on this, right? It was a lot because there was so many things that Stephen A. Smith said. And a lot of content creators spoke about some of the other things he said, but it was one thing I think people miss. Because he said something along the lines of, you don't want to get me to talking. I know some things that you do behind the scenes. We know how you manipulate things behind the scenes. Right. And I was like, man, he gave him a warning shot. Like, I know what you do behind the scenes, but I'm not going to say anything. But we all have been speculating the type of things he do behind the scenes. I know Rick Bucher came out and was like, Clutch Sports approached him via email and tried to convince him that, his vote, he should give consideration to LeBron for MVP. And this was one of the years he was with the Lakers. This was probably 2 years ago when they probably had a season where they was in the play-in. Imagine giving somebody a vote whose team in the play-in, right? Clutch Sports sent him an email with his stats trying to argue his case in hopes that they could convince Rick Bucher to give some consideration to LeBron for MVP. Then you got Kendrick Perkins saying he said some things that Clutch Sports didn't agree with or LeBron didn't agree with on First Take, and he gets approached by Clutch Sports, weeks later in a confrontational manner. Like, how dare you, right? So there's so many people that, actually would go on national TV and say, yeah, Clutch Sports has approached me, right? So we know LeBron is working things behind the scenes, right? So I'm listening to Carmelo Anthony's podcast, and he has Iman Shumpert on. And we know that Iman and J.R. Smith both was playing for the Knicks, and we know the Knicks was trying to get back to their winning ways, because I think when they had Melo and Amari Stoudemire, they were in the playoffs, and they was doing their thing. And then the 1 year they had Jason Kidd and Rasheed Wallace and all that stuff, and they was rocking and rolling. They started out with the best record in the league within the first 2 months of the season, and then the bottom fell out. This was Mike Woodson coaching them. The bottom fell out because Jason Kidd got hurt, then Rasheed Wallace got hurt, and it was over from there. They was starting Prigioni, I can't remember his name, little small old point guard. They was starting him, and the bottom fell out. And then after that, they I think they got rid of Amari, and then they had Linsanity, and after that, they didn't know what to do. They just couldn't put the pieces back together. And then all of a sudden, they trade Shump. They finally, I think they drafted Shump, and he was a great defender. He was scoring. He was playing point guard, and he was just a good player. And then they just traded him. They traded him and J.R. Smith, and I've never heard anybody talk about that trade until now. This is interesting. Listen to this.
obviously once you and JR got shit to Cleveland, that sort of ended a little bit of that Knicks tape era. But then you go to a situation where you got a chance to win the championship and play with LeBron.
I call that say, man, you.
You ever tell them what you did?
I told Bron, oh, that's what we doing. Oh, that's what we doing.
They done came up to me 2-3 times and told me, we ain't trading you. Like, don't believe. They steady telling me that. Like, to where I don't even care no more. I'm just trying to get healthy, bro. Melo come to the locker room. I said something to him. Man, they ain't say nothing back. Like, man, just went into this little room, blue. Damn. In that room, all you hear is shit just boom, boom. Water splashing. I'm like, I don't know what's not. At this point, I'm thinking, dude, in there fighting somebody. You see what I'm saying? Shorty come out, and it seemed like he was calm. Like, he got his zen back. But the energy that came out the room as I was leaving, I'm like, boy, he just broke. Like, he mad. Like, he want us to leave, gang. I don't think. So he come back to the locker room, he explained it. We all had some drinks, chill, whatever, we wind down. And for me, I'm like trying to process, like, damn, bro, like, one, this nigga and Bron is like arch enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they like everybody's comic book right now. Like, why the fuck do I gotta be part of this? Like,
Right. Then we come out, we dragging shit, shorty. Like, you feel me? I done played my first couple games. Ain't nobody fucking with us. We ain't lost in like 20 games now.
Yeah.
Everybody like each other. Me and Kyrie been waiting to play on the same team. So we having a good ass time over there. I seen them have some upsetting games, and I'm just looking like, damn, bro, I feel so guilty. But it had nothing to do with me.
So I'm gonna pause it there. So he's talking about when the trade went down. Melo knew it was going down. He walks in the locker room. He goes in the office or in the room, and he's pissed off at someone. I don't know if the GM was in there, or the coach, or the owner. I don't know who was in there, but he's in there freaking throwing stuff. Pissed off, right? Because he knew the trade was going down, and he said he called LeBron later on and was like, "Really? That's what we doing?" Right? Because imagine if I'm your real life friend. All right, let's take it to Michael Jordan, right? Let's just see if Michael Jordan would do something like this. Let's say Michael Jordan has Scottie Pippen, right? Because Kyrie Irving was LeBron James's Scottie Pippen. Right, so you got your number 2, right? So you got Jordan and your number 2 in Scottie. You got LeBron and your number 2 in Kyrie. Now, a good friend of Michael Jordan's while he was playing was Charles Barkley, right? Imagine if they're good friends, but since you're Michael Jordan, you got so much pull. You look over there at Phoenix and say, hey, go over there and make a trade for Kevin Johnson and Dan Marley, and give them pretty much nothing. And we're friends. And instead of you saying, I want to see you got your number 2 and Kevin Johnson, and then you got a number 3 in Dan Marley, right? I got my number 2, right? And my number 3 in Kevin Love. He's got his number 2 and his number 3. But you go and take Melo's number 2 and number 3, who is not as good as your number 2 and number 3, by the way. Your number 2 was a all-star, and your number 3 was an all-star. And they both have led franchises as number 1s. So your number 2 and 3 is better than Melo's. Instead of you saying, I want to see if I can beat Melo with his number 2 and number 3 and see if his team is better than mine. Instead of saying that, he went and signed off on a trade that's going to take Melo's number 2 and number 3 while he was trying to rebuild his team and bring him over there. And they were bench players. Like his team was so good that he was able to get Shumpert and put him on the bench and then put J.R. Smith on the bench. I mean, I think he was in the starting lineup a lot of times, but a lot of times he wasn't. It just depends, right? So this was extra for you. And you took for Melo, and it set Melo back, because if I'm trying to get back to my winning ways and these are the dudes I want to do it with, We just need a couple of more pieces, and you come in and grab it. How fair is that? And we supposed to be homeboys, and you all. Furthermore, you supposed to be competing against me. Let me get my squad intact, and then we can go head up, and we can see whose squad is better. You just got finished beating my head in, no Diddy, while you was on the super team with Miami. You got Chris Bosh, Wade, Ray Allen, and Birdman and Rashard Lewis and Mike Miller and Shane Battier. You got and Udonis Haslem. You got all them dudes on the super team. All I got is Amari Stoudemire and Jared Smith. Y'all beat us. Fair and square, you beat us. But dog, you go over to Cleveland. Now you got to take what I got. I think that's jacked up. Right? Here's more.
Like that year they put everything together though. Before they traded us over there. That opening night, we got down on them.
Oh, yeah.
And we was talking wild crazy. You remember that?
I thought
we got down
So
on
now
them.
you see my position on the stance. You feel
We
what I'm
got
saying?
down on them. That's
so when
why
it
it hurt.
happened,
It hurt.
only thing going through my mind is Braun, right? Because now I know this is a chess game. Like it probably ain't a chess game with me personally, but it's a chess game.
Yeah.
Yo, I gotta get these niggas away from him.
Yeah.
Right.
Shit is fucked up over there. I can use
Real talk.
I can use Shump and JR to go win a championship.
But you knew though.
Huh?
You knew how
Hold up. Yeah, no, I knew how he thought.
no, you knew how they could be for that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But I also knew what I had.
Right.
I was, you know what I mean? So that's why I flipped out like that in the locker room, because I'm like,
Just put me back 3 years.
how the fuck you want me to go, like, who you want me to go out there with?
Right.
First of all, you know this is the gang right here. This is
Yeah, that's what was wild.
You
The
don't-
team chemistry was good.
What I'm saying is, you don't touch this.
Chemistry was
It's
good.
more than they
You
good
got a
players.
nucleus.
You sending them to a team that's
Let me get to that.
you got to go through.
Let me
He
get to
said
that.
the nucleus.
You
though.
do not touch this nucleus right here.
Yeah, we had
I
it.
don't give a fuck what you do. You don't touch this nucleus. Now we struggling now.
Mhm.
So now it's bittersweet for me because I really want these niggas to
Do well.
succeed and do well. And like they killing me, they killing Shump, they killing JR. I really want, I can handle this shit, but I really want them to figure this out.
Man.
I'll come out, everybody scatter back to. Everybody scattered, coach scattered back there, woo, woo. Niggas is like, yo, buddy, man, bring Mel on here, man. Bring Mel on here, man. I said, yo, y'all niggas can't say shit to me. Do you know what the fuck y'all just did?
You gonna send him to him?
You gonna send him to him?
I remember him saying that shit.
Loud. You gonna send him to him? We're building to go against this nigga. You
Yeah.
gonna, what? Nah, y'all don't give a fuck about me. Y'all don't give a fuck about me, about what's going on over here. This shit is nasty.
Bro, you cannot make this up, man. Like so many people are talking about these things. Like D Wade is talking about how, you know, he's been on podcasts and he's telling Shannon Sharp, LeBron didn't even tell me when he was leaving Miami. Like I found out when everybody else found out. Like this stuff is nasty work. LeBron did not tell me. He just left. My knees was bad. He was like, man, I'm out, man. My number 2 can't carry me no more. Let me go get a new number 2 that's fresh. Right. And then when you go get that new number 2, you try to do the same thing because that formula you used when you went over to Miami and you grabbing a Toronto Raptor best player and you're taking the best player from Cleveland, which is yourself, and then you adding that to the best player in Miami. So you got 3 of these best players out of the East and you crippled a playoff contender in the Raptors because they lost their best player. You crippled Cleveland because they lost you. You empower Miami Heat. And then you go grab the next year Ray Allen from Boston. You cripple the Celtics because he was part of their big 3. And then you grab Rashard Lewis from Orlando and you cripple Orlando because he was part of their big 3. And then you go and grab Mike Miller from Memphis, who was part of that Pau Gasol and Jay Will, White Chocolate. Grab him. Like he's grabbing players that was part of, I ain't gonna call them big 3s, but players that was part of trios. Battier was also part of a trio in Houston. So he grabbed Battier from Houston, Mike Miller from Memphis, Ray Allen from Boston, right? Toronto Raptors, Chris Bosh. I mean, you grabbing all of these dudes to form this Voltron-like team, this Captain Planet, let our powers combine. I just can't believe. And then he went to Cleveland and was like, let me do it again. There's Kyrie Irving over there. Oh, let me trade this pick. Let me get Kevin Love from Minnesota, right? Then let me go and grab Melo's players, Shumpert and J.R. Smith. Man, they gave them. We can't even remember the players they gave them for Shumpert and J.R. Smith. And Melo was just dumbfounded. Like, why would New York do that and give them to, first of all, not only a team in the East, but a team that's trying to contend, who has the league's second best player at that time, LeBron James. You're giving him, he just got finished winning on a super team in Miami. Why would you give him another team very similar to that? Like, why would an East team do that? They could have traded, if they just wanted to dump Shumpert and J.R. Smith because they was trying to start over, they could have traded them dudes anywhere. Why send them into LeBron, which is what Melo was confused about. Like, I thought y'all was trying to help me win here. Y'all took my team and gave it to someone I got to compete against. We trying to beat them. Now what you want me to go out there with? And we wonder why he left New York. So, I mean, it's insane that people can see that type of maneuvering and think that any of these things that he's achieving is like respectable on the level of what Larry Bird or Michael Jordan or Kobe was achieving. Like, it's not really respectable. That's why he's asking for respect. I want my daggone respect. You're not going to be able to get it by doing that type of stuff. We don't respect those moves, like this fake father-son moment you did and try to make it seem like it's like the Griffeys, and it's not like the Griffeys. Like, Ken Griffey Jr. was a prodigy. His dad was a very, very, very good baseball player, but Ken Griffey was a prodigy. Your son is not close to a prodigy. He's not even an NBA player. So that thing was fake. You're manufacturing so many things. It's not going to get respect. You're just manipulating everything. You even manipulating your entire career, how you want it to look on paper. Like, the NBA should have never allowed a player that does the things that you do to get Kareem's record. Like, when I go back and listen to John Sally talk about how Phil Jackson pulled Kobe out of the game so he wouldn't get that 100 points in a game, and he asked him why you didn't let him break Wilt's record, and he said some records shouldn't be broken. I felt that. I believed it, because the only thing we remember Wilt for is the 100 points. I mean, sure, he got a whole bunch of other records, but the 100 points is the one we remember him for the most. And it used to be like that for Kareem with that #1 scoring record of all time. That's how we remember him. We remember Bill Russell from his 11 rings. That's how we remember the founding fathers. We remember them for that, right? Erasing someone's legacy out of greed because you think it's going to help you in a GOAT debate that you can't win because you're not a better player than Kobe is nasty work. And I want to open the phone lines up on that one because I want to hear what y'all think, man. Like, as a matter of fact, no. Phone lines are open, but I got one more clip to play, y'all, because this just shows you what Stephen A. Smith was talking about, where LeBron does so many things behind the scenes that's just shiesty. Listen to this football GM that was a GM of the Jets the time Rex Ryan was coaching the team. Listen to what he said.
As we approach the trade deadline on Tuesday, you're great at telling these stories. The most memorable in-season trade you ever made and why?
Probably Braylon Edwards, going from Cleveland to the Jets. We had started off 3-0 in 2009, and we played the Saints, and we had not good enough players on the outside. And Rex tells me on the plane ride back, he's like, call Roger Goodell. We're going to just cancel the season. We will never win another game. We're 3-13.
Oh, my God.
Every team will play man-to-man, and we won't be able to make a first down, so let's just end it now. 3-13. Braylon Edwards that night gets into a little scuffle in Cleveland with LeBron James's friends. Eric Mangini calls me up the next morning. Braylon Edwards is a Jet, and the rest is history.
So thank LeBron James.
So thank
friends.
LeBron's.
Wow. And I'll tell you this.
Wow.
And I'll tell you this.
You don't mess with LeBron's friends in Cleveland. That's
To
for
this
sure.
day, I love Braylon Edwards. I was in Ann Arbor last week. I saw his dad, Stan. Like, great family. Couldn't have worked out better for us. And thank God he got into that scuffle.
As we approach the trade deadline.
So Braylon Edwards, who was a great receiver, I say good to great, close to great. He was a good receiver. I think he played for Michigan in college. A good receiver that were playing for the Cavs got in a scuffle with some friends of LeBron James in the club. The next morning, he was traded to the Jets. Let that sink in. Caller from New York, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to say I had called in the other night, and I said you was the one that was talking about the franchises. But what I was referring to was you was breaking down one time. You were saying that when there's a GOAT debate, you go by from top to bottom how the franchises put together, the coaches, everything, and then you gauge them like that. So when it comes to LeBron, right? I feel like you can't really do it with him because he kind of had like this, he kind of got an asterisk by it because of how much help he used and how he ran organizations. So it's kind of not the same. So when it's like a GOAT debate, he definitely goes all the way down from him pulling those strings and doing all of that. And so that's what I think his fans need to see is that like when you make the game easier for yourself. You LeBron, you supposed to be this great player, then you make the game all the way easy for yourself. How is that respectable?
Yeah, that's a good point. So I probably wouldn't go as far as putting him all the way down because he did it. I would go as far as saying that the guys who did it on hard mode, are graded over here. And then the guys who did it on easy mode, LeBron can be the number one guy for the easy mode guys. He can be number one over there.
Right. I agree. I definitely agree with that. When you said that before, that's 100% correct. And that's what I think. Like, that's what I'm saying. I think as fans have to see that is like, it's not the same. Like, it's not the same. Like you just was describing how Kobe had a hand in his face. Like, the defenders damn near was blinding him. He had to go through Roger Bell and all these. LeBron kind of never, like, he had certain, adversities, but he never really been through that fire. The defense is like, oh, you can't play defense. So it's like, nah, it's not the same.
Yeah. Nah, that's a good point, man. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Yep. Nah, that's a good point, man. It's a different scale. I mean, he used a different, a different blueprint. Like if you see me shooting, okay, like with Lynette Woodard, the record that Caitlin Clark broke of hers. Well, if I broke a record in scoring in an era where there was no 3-point line, and I shot the ball with a male ball, because we didn't have a female ball back then, right? So if a female breaks the scoring record with all twos and free throws, no 3-point line, and playing with a male ball, if you come over here with a smaller ball that's easier to shoot, which is a female ball, and a 3-point line, which means you're putting up, your opportunity to get more points are greater because you're shooting a lot of threes. I'm not going to say you broke my record. That's what Lynette Woodard said. My record hasn't been broken because I haven't seen a female come play with a male ball with no 3-point line and score more points than me. So put hers on a separate record. She could be number one for that, but I'm number one for what I did. I'm number one overall because I did it the harder way, right? So I respect it. So if you're breaking Kareem's record and Kareem shot one, he only hit 1 3 his whole career, and played down low, right? And played in the era where defense was encouraged and allowed. And you did it in the era where they just said, hey, man, we don't care about defense. We just want y'all to run up and dunk and throw threes up. I'm not going to respect that you broke Kareem's record. I really don't. I'm just being honest, man. But caller from Missouri, what's up? What's your thoughts?
Hey, what's up, Melvin? Long time no talk to. I won't give you the impression tonight, but yeah, I heard this. But to me, Charles Barkley kind of exposed LeBron a little bit too when they were talking about. I'm pretty sure you guys seen this. They were talking about something. Not Kenny. What's the other guy's name? The white guy's name. I can't remember.
Ernie, Jalen Rose was there.
Ernie, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Ernie brought up a stat. I think it was 30 points. 30 points per game.
Yeah. How many times he scored 30?
Yeah, and Mike's still smoking him after all these years. Yeah. Mike still, and Charles was like, "Hey, man, this is ridiculous. Why are we even having this conversation?" And for me, this conversation been over since 2011. Yeah. When LeBron got smacked around by Jason Terry and the company, that was over. There is no way on God's green earth,
correct, that
MJ would have a game or series like that. Even if the Bulls would have lost, I guarantee you MJ would have gave you everything, every ounce of everything he got. You wouldn't. In other words, you wouldn't have blamed MJ for that loss. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was watching. It was some video I think Ticket TV had put out, and some guy was in the comment section. Some guys were in the comment section and said that MJ ducked the smoke because that's when he retired. When he retired in '98, and I asked him, I said, "What do you mean he ducked the smoke?" About he didn't want to stick around and play through a rebound. I'm like, man, you guys know how foolish y'all sound. MJ, because Phil and Scotty and Rodman and basically the Bulls was breaking up the team, MJ should have stuck around and started over with a bunch of kids. Here you got a great like MJ who was winning championships, but he's ducking the smoke. But then LeBron's not ducking the smoke from running from Cleveland to Miami, back to Cleveland to LA and all over the place. These dudes don't make no sense, bro. And I stopped arguing with them. Sometimes I do it just for entertainment value because it's funny. But these dudes don't make no sense, and they know they don't make no sense. No. Especially when you start asking them, logical questions. It's like, how is LeBron running to Miami, not ducking the smoke?
It definitely is.
But MJ,
no, it definitely is. It's making it easier for sure. It's making it easier, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you don't want to say he ducked the smoke, fine. But he definitely made it easier and did something very unconventional because the guys that you were supposed to be competing against, the guys that was on your level like Wade, Bosh, and all them dudes, you weren't supposed to be also joining them, to make your path easier and strategically taking dudes out of the East from certain teams to make their team weaker. Like, he really made the East very weak and one team very strong, which happened to be his team, man. That's, I just think that's just a whack competitive way to do it. And now that he's been in the league forever, I mean, he got that Debo mind control over everybody in the league now. I mean, but why he couldn't have that control when he was in his 5th or 6th year? So right. It is what it is.
I was gonna say, let me land on this. So when people keep in mind, to your point about taking it easy, you got the hard way. The hard way, winning championships was always hard. Any player in any era would tell you that, right? LeBron thought that going to Miami, teaming up with Wade and Bosh was going to be easy, the easy way. And you could tell he thought that because when he was talking about it, he's like, "Oh man, this is gonna be easy, man. I throw it to LeBron. I mean, I throw it to Wade. He throw it to Bosh, and somebody else shoot it." And he didn't think he was gonna have to work hard to get it. And he was talking about that's where the whole not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, because he thought it was gonna be easy.
Correct.
He thought it was gonna be easy. Truth be told, the Spurs. The Spurs they really, what's her name, really saved them from losing to the Spurs. He would really be 1-3 with Miami if it wasn't for
and that's with a super team.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you did all this cherry picking and maneuvering and still wasn't able to achieve a 3-peat or 6 rings. And Mike did 2 3-peats and got 6 rings and didn't do all that maneuvering, right? You know, he just got his number 2 and Scottie Pippen and was like, all right, we'll ride with that. You know, let's build around us too, man. But I appreciate the call, man. Let me get on to some other ones, man. I want Guillermo to call because I know this is going to be good. All right, bro.
All right.
Yeah. Guillermo, call in. And you are making our point. I mean, Funky Town, what's good?
Hey, brother, man, how you feeling?
I'm good.
You had
I'm
a good holiday?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm listening to. I'm looking at your boy Guillermo. He needs to stop. But the thing is this, bro, and people need to really stop all the BS and all the fugazi stuff for LaFlop. Michael Jordan never played with another teammate that was double teamed while he was on the court.
That's true.
Ever. Even in the Wizards, he never had another teammate that was double teamed while he was on the court. All these others, anybody, and this to include Kobe, there is nobody that you're gonna put in there and say, okay, that's never happened to anybody else. And then you look at what he did and the time that he did it in. When you look at, you know, won the MVP, won the Finals MVP, won the scoring title, was on the first team all defense, scoring leader. It's only happened 4 times in the history of the NBA, and all 4 times was Michael Jordan. All 4 times was Michael Jordan. Like this. Somebody else said it earlier. This isn't an argument. Even you said it earlier. This really is not. It's not even a.
It's not.
It's not an argument.
It's really
and the thing that really gets me about that shows his quality is he wasn't in the stats. You know, the stats driven era. It was the ball went up, you played ball. But then if you look at the actual analytic stats, the advanced stats, who's number 1 in the playoffs and in the regular season? When you look at the per game, who is the number 1 player in all of them? Michael Jeffrey Jordan. And he wasn't in the stats time. He wasn't in the stats time.
He was in the win.
You look at the game, and people forget they were all talking. Because I remember my father telling me this. Like we were having that conversation before. We were talking about Malone and all that, and you know who was coming after. And somebody mentioned something about his scoring title. I remember my father because he explained to me like this. Because George Gerwin, right?
Right.
The Iceman. That dude he was like, when I was young, he was like perennial scoring leader. Right? And my father, he explained, he's like, yeah, he gonna score down in San Antonio, he gonna score the point. He ain't gonna win no championship, he ain't gonna win no MVP. I'm like, why is that? He said, because that's not the whole point of the game. The point of the game is to win. You can win this. You can fill up whatever stat you want.
Right.
But if it's not affecting the winning or building the culture, and that was the thing they were trying to stick on Jordan when he was winning those scoring titles and not winning the championships. But what did he go and say, well, I'm gonna do it y'all's way? No, he did it a completely different way. As a smaller player, he's not only your scoring leader, but he's also your champion. That is up. See, that's what people don't like. Today's generation, they don't understand. He did things that never were done. That was never done. You didn't have no guard winning the scoring title and winning the MVP, not only the final MVP, but also winning the game. You didn't have that. He did all of that. And just for shits and giggles, how about we just also have the best defense?
Correct.
Right? And I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it with the same guys. And on top of that, I'm gonna be loyal. He could have had Tracy McGrady because they wanted to trade Pippen for Tracy McGrady.
And Sean Kemp.
And he's the one who stopped that.
Yeah, and Sean Kemp.
And Sean Kemp.
And this was at a time where Pippen was having issues with his back and his foot and stuff like that.
Thank you.
If he would have had that mindset that LeBron had, he would have looked over at Pippen and said, "Oh man, I can't get more chips with my number 2 breaking down."
Like Wade said, Pippen wouldn't even know anything. Pippen would just been gone.
Correct. He would have been gone. T-Mac would have been over there. He would have had a younger number 2. He would try to start all over. You know what I mean? So,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people need to quit this. They're making it like I think you said it perfectly earlier. This is not an argument for number 1. This is not an argument for number 1. Facts are facts. You know, you can be mad about facts. You can be sad about facts. Cry. You know, get a tissue for your issue. You cannot. The facts are. If you just look at facts, whatever you're talking about is not going to change the facts. You know, LeBron is manufactured like you, and you hit it again. Talking about this manufactured crack. We've been talking about this all summer about him and his son. This is just to me, it's embarrassing. You know, and thank goodness for y'all staying true and not you know falling for the he's still a great. No, this is a punk ass some Drake shit right here. This is excuse my language. I'm straight up, man. It's almost this is like calling the law. And after a rap battle, you got your ass kicked, and now you up here you gonna have a lawsuit because you got your butt kicked. And then now you're mad because now you're getting off social media because everybody clowning you because your clown ass son ain't got no game, and everybody saw it. Who know, like you said, eye test. Anybody who looked knew he didn't have an NBA game. Anybody with eyes who knows this game knew he didn't have an NBA game. Right?
Facts.
But you're gonna sit up here. You got Quincy. Somebody, and he can only. I mean, they're burying him in the Laker organization. He should be that. I want him gone. I want him to go do something else because he damn sure should be helping somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's time for him to graduate, man. He's acting like a super senior that keeps coming back to the high school during lunch period to hang out with everybody, man. Don't be a super senior. He's been a super senior. Like you shouldn't even be bragging by the fact that you're 22 years in and your version of dominating is getting your numbers. Like you're not propelling your team to more wins than SGA, the younger guys, or the younger guys like Jokic and all these. Now you're not propelling them to more wins. You're able to continue to get your stats, and your media members are calling that dominating, or you know he's still dominant. He's still a best player. Not if you're not winning, right? So you're not.
You've been
dominating
for 11 years on defense.
And you need to let the Lakers get that salary cap money and go get somebody that can actually help Anthony Davis get to the playoffs and get to the daggone finals again, because LeBron ain't gonna be able to do it. But I appreciate the call, Funky Town, man.
You got it, brother, man.
I'm gonna get to the next topic, man. Thanks for it.
Yeah, have a good one.
All right. Hope Peace, man. $20 super chat. LeBron fans want all other fans to embrace and settle for lower standard and lower achievements. That's a fact. Like, you know, the bar was set pretty high by Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant tried to reach that bar and then raise it. He got very close. I think he did reach the bar. He didn't raise it, right? He was able to at least get his hand on the bar, right? Maybe even one whole hand on the bar. He probably didn't get two hands on it, but he got there. You know, he got close to Jordan. And but you know what Michael Jordan was able to achieve: 6 rings, 2 3-peats, how dominant he was as a scorer and a defender, 10 scoring titles and all that stuff. Kobe wasn't able to get all of that, right? But as a player, he got very close, right? So that bar is very high. Kobe tried to get to that bar, and what LeBron is doing is saying, I can't get to that bar as a player, so let me try to manipulate, maneuver, and orchestrate getting to that bar on paper. Let me try to fabricate it and give you a facade to make it look like I reached that bar on paper. It's almost like, I don't know if y'all read the Bible, but when Pharaoh and Moses was working all those miracles, trying to convince him to let his people go, and God gave him, the ability to do some things that could show what God's power was all about. He was doing some things, and Pharaoh had magicians and sorcerers that was like, oh, we could do that. Oh, he turned that staff into a snake. Oh, we can do that. And they was doing it by doing illusions. And Pharaoh was like, oh, that's not the power of God. I got sorcerers that can do that. But it was an illusion. It was a magic trick. It was fake, right? They had learned the art of illusion, and that was good enough for Pharaoh. But Moses was really showing you the power of God. God gave him that power to do that. That was a real staff that turned into a real snake, right? Those things was considered miracles that he was doing, right? But it was an illusion for the sorcerers. That's what LeBron is doing. He's doing witchcraft in front of our face. It's sorcery. For him to be able to get so many people to believe that by creating a super team and getting a ring is the same thing as Michael Jordan getting a ring by going through the grind and building up Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant and all these dudes and going to go battle after they built the team up the old-fashioned way. They're really convincing people that what he did is the same thing by forming super teams and by manipulating and by behind the scenes orchestrating and pulling teammates from competitors and weakening teams in the East and doing all this crazy stuff, and then setting up a Clutch Sports client or Clutch Sports agency that actually go in and sign media members to the agency, and then get them media members to speak up for LeBron and win this debate in the public of opinion by way of ESPN and Chris Broussard and Shannon Sharp and Nick Wright and all these dudes and Colin Cowherd. Like, these are paid agents. And they want us to believe that illusion is the same hard work that Kobe did. They want us to believe that's the same hard work. It's not. It's not. More super chats. Zeno Omega, $5 super chat. MJ has the most NBA trophies, double the amount of LeBron. Solid proof that this was never a debate. It never was. Before you even get to the trophy, just observing the players on the floor, it's not close. Nino Action Jackson, $9, $10 super chat. It's too much MJ cap going on in these comments. Yeah, sure it is. All right, phone lines are closed unless Guillermo. Hey, Guillermo, you want to call? Guillermo, I'll leave the phone line up for you, big dog. I give you about 10 seconds to call in. I give you about 10 seconds. Nike was right. We are a witness. I saw the manipulation with my own eyes. That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, this last topic. All right, like we got one phone call. Caller from Louisiana. Go ahead.
What's up, my brother?
What's up? What's up? What's good?
Man, I'm trying to ask a question, man. I'm trying to see why you don't have the same energy for Kobe.
What you mean?
So you don't have the same energy for Kobe. So Kobe didn't get Ryan Artest on his team. He didn't bring in Dwight Howard. He didn't bring in Paul Gasol, who was the number one person in Memphis.
Yeah, he did. You think that's the same? So, you think that's the same as what LeBron did?
But your argument is that he's weakening teams. So Kobe didn't do the same thing?
No, it's not the same thing.
So what's the difference?
Well, you tell me. When I describe LeBron leaving Cleveland and going and joining a top 5 player in the league, back then the top players was Kobe, LeBron, probably Wade, probably Durant. Those was the top 4 back then. Maybe then you go maybe guard. I mean, it was some players, but LeBron, Wade, they were in there, right? So if you
Wade.
So name me the top 5 players that was back then.
Back when?
When LeBron went to Miami, who was the top 5 players?
LeBron, Kobe,
Wade, Melo.
Wade. Yeah, you can put Wade. Wade was in there.
Wade was in there. All right, so if we go to top 10,
Duncan.
Yeah, Duncan. If we go to top 10, you think Bosh is in there?
Yeah, Bosh definitely was in there.
All right, so a top 10 player, a top 5 player, and the second best player in their prime, not old, in their prime, on the same team. And then you go and get Ray Allen, who was part of your competition in Boston, and you add him.
Like Kobe went got
wait. Was Ron Artest a top 5 player when Kobe got him?
Well, Ron Artest was a big part of that Houston team that took them to 6 games.
Yes or no? Was Ron Artest a top 5 player when Kobe got him?
No, he wasn't a top 5 player.
Was Ron Artest a top 10 player when Kobe got him?
No, he wasn't a top 10 player.
Okay. Was Paul Gasol a top 10 player when Kobe got him?
It could have been an argument around that time in Memphis. It could have been an argument.
But was there an argument for him as a top 5 player?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Top 10, we can make an argument there.
We can make an argument. So
that time.
So what Kobe did was went and got his number 2, because he didn't have a number 2, remember? Smush Parker was his number 2. Bill Walton Jr. was his number 2. Oh, Luke Walton.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Luke Walton was his number 2. He didn't have a real number 2. So what he did was he went and got a number 2 in Chris and Pau Gasol, who was
for nothing.
Arguably, no, not for nothing. He traded Marc Gasol for Pau Gasol. They had drafted they drafted Marc Gasol, but he wasn't over in the States yet. They just had the draft rights to him, so they gave him his brother. Right?
Yeah, it had nothing about the owners being friends.
No. That's facts. I mean, that's how Boston got Kevin Garnett, and that's how Paul Gasol got over to the Lakers. We know that. We know that was some little a handshake. But here's my thing. I'm telling you, asked me why it was different. Kobe went and got his number 2. It's
no. All right. So I'm saying no. All right. I'm saying I agree with your argument.
Let me finish for the audience. It's normal for a star player to need a number 2 to get it done. He went and got a number 2 that was arguably a top 10 player. He could have been a top 15 player. I don't even know if he was top 10. So he went and got a regular all-star to be his number 2. And then he went and got Ron Artest, who was a role player. Right? That's how you build a team. Right? What LeBron did was he went and joined with another top 5 player that he was supposed to compete against. And then he went and got a top 10 player on top of that. And then he went and got Ray Allen. And then he went and got other players that were, all-star level players that could have got to the all-star, like Rashard Lewis and Mike Miller, and made them role players. Like, you're stacking your teams.
But y'all right. But Kobe didn't do that, brother. At that time, Mike Miller is injury bound. He's old, over the hill. I mean, he still contribute, which he did. Lewis, but I'm asking you, after I describe what LeBron did and what Kobe did, are you still saying it's the same thing?
No, I said my argument. I'm saying like, all right, I don't agree with him going team up with Miami. I don't, but I'm saying that you have to keep energy as if Kobe didn't try to staff his team as well.
No, he built a team the normal way. He didn't stack his team with players he was supposed to compete against. Every star player needs a number two. How am I supposed to get a number two? If I'm not 20, 21, 23, 24, he was close, he was 30. You can't draft a number two and then wait 5 years for him to develop. How else am I supposed to get a number two if I'm 30?
So them years he wasn't making the playoffs, that's how they got draft picks.
There's nothing wrong with going and trading for a number two to help you win. That's all he did. He didn't go and get 3 of them.
he was trying to ever since they canceled the Chris Paul trade.
He didn't go get 3 of them. If he would have got
He didn't try to get Chris Paul and Dwight Howard.
He probably did. I don't know. I know he tried. I know they tried to trade for Chris Paul for sure.
Yeah, remember the league vetoed it. He was trying to get Chris Paul and Dwight Howard, two number 1 players.
Yeah. But hold on. This was when he didn't have. Oh, well, he still had Pau Gasol, but he was, kind of past his prime. But then you talking about this Chris Paul thing. You do know LeBron tried to get Chris Paul and Carmelo as well, right? With the Miami team.
No, Kobe had Chris Paul. The trade was done.
Yeah, all right, and it would have been Chris Paul
along with Paul Gasol, and he would have had Dwight Howard.
Right, and it would have been Chris Paul. No, he wouldn't have had Dwight Howard. Dwight happened after that. He would have had Chris Paul and Pau Gasol, and it's still nothing.
No, Dwight was part of that. Didn't Dwight come on that team?
Nah, he came later.
I'm gonna go look that up.
He came after he requested that trade from Orlando, and they got him, and then they got Nash the next year.
Yeah, because so Nash, instead of it being Chris Paul, it was Nash.
Right, Nash was past his prime, sir. It's very important when you're talking about these players, if they're before, during their prime, or past their prime. Kobe was past his prime. Nash was past his prime. Pau Gasol was past his prime. That was hoping Dwight Howard could revive them, but he just had back surgery. Sir, there's no argument. There's nothing the same about what Kobe did and what LeBron did. But
they're saying Dwight Howard coming off back surgery was averaging 18 and like 12.
I'm gonna take your call out there. I got one more caller coming in for.
I appreciate you, my brother.
All right, thank you. Caller from Florida.
Hey.
What's good?
Guillermo, how are you?
What's good? What's your thoughts?
Hey, let's talk a little bit about Bron.
Okay, go ahead.
I gotta say, you make the most craziest comments. You saying that Wade was one of the best 5 players, and Bosh was one of the best 10 players in the league at the same time.
Yeah, what
You're
you
joking,
think?
right?
Yeah. What you think? What was Wade the year that LeBron joined him? What would you put him
way
in?
down?
What did you put him in?
And then you saying that Miller and the other guy was borderline. Out of your mind?
What would you put Wade at when LeBron joined Miami?
Probably one of the best 15 players.
You said 15, and then what would you put Bosh?
Bosh was probably.
Well, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way, because you're probably not going to remember 14 players that year that was better than Wade. So let me make it easier. Let me make it easier. How many shooting guards was better than Wade that year? Kobe was one.
Iverson was better than Wade. Was better than Wade.
Not the year that LeBron went to Miami, sir. Not the year that LeBron went to Miami. So Kobe
Iverson was a better player than Wade. He's always
not the year that LeBron went to Miami. The year that LeBron went to Miami, who was a better player at the shooting guard position?
Wayne had a great year the way when he won the championship with Shaq. After that, he was a good player.
Sir, hey, this is an easy way. This is an easy way to do it, sir. Google the year that LeBron went to Miami, and Google the year before the MVP race, and see where Wade finished at.
In my opinion, Wade was a really good player. He was not that great. He was really good, exceptionally the year he won with Shaq. He was fantastic that year.
What was he ranked at for shooting guards that year?
What year? The year that
LeBron joined Miami. LeBron joined Miami in 2000.
One of the 2 or 3 best shooting guards in the league.
One of the 2 or 3. Name the shooting guards better than Wade that year.
Well, Kobe.
That's one.
Iverson.
No, not Iverson. Not in 2010, sir.
That's just your opinion. To
Not,
me, Iverson
not in
was better.
2010.
I'm not going to go through the whole list right now, but I don't consider him to be one of the best shooting guards that when Brown went to Miami. He was fantastic when he won with Shaq. After that, he was good, but he wasn't that kind of a player.
See, so this is the issue that happens a lot with
Let me ask you something.
People that root for LeBron. Hold on. You're not gonna ask me something while I'm talking. Hold on.
Yeah.
This is the issue with people that cap for LeBron, is that you have the need to downplay every teammate that he's ever had.
I'm not downplaying anybody. You're
Like,
overplaying.
name one teammate that you're gonna big up or give big props to that was a teammate of LeBron's. Every teammate you downplay. How good was Kyrie Irving?
What was that again?
How good was Kyrie Irving?
What happened with Kyrie Irving?
How good was Kyrie Irving when LeBron played with him?
Oh, he was good.
Okay, so what did he rank at for point guards? What did he rank at for point guards?
Hold on a second. Before LeBron got there, he wasn't ranked as one of the best point guards in the league. He was good, but he wasn't.
Okay, so what did you rank him at for point guards the year before and the year that LeBron joined him?
The year he got there?
Yeah.
He was good. He was really good.
What did you rank him at top 5 for point guards the year that LeBron joined him? What was he ranked at?
Maybe top 5 or 6.
Maybe top 5 or 6. So you got 5.
Potential to be better than anybody.
You know 5 point guards that was better than Kyrie Irving the year that LeBron played with him. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I mean?
He was Bron. Look, he made his name with Bron. Okay. He wasn't.
No, he made his he made his name in high school, sir. He was the number one. He was the number one recruit out of high school. He went to Duke. He killed it at Duke, and he was the number 1 draft pick. And he was an all-star his second year in the league, sir. Hey, look, I just looked up the stats for 2009, the year before LeBron got there, and Dwayne Wade was 5th in scoring, averaging 27 points a game, right? He was averaging 5 rebounds a game and 7 assists, sir. I'm looking down that list. I see Kevin Durant scoring number 1, LeBron, Carmelo, Kobe, Wade, Monte Ellis, Dirk, Danny Granger, Chris Bosh, Amari Stoudemire, Joe Johnson, Derrick Rose, Zach Randolph. I don't see Iverson, sir. Iverson's not even on the list. So how is Iverson a better shooting guard than Wade if he wasn't even? Well, I mean, was he playing? Let's see Allen Iverson where he was at in 2000.
Iverson got the 5th highest average in history. What are you talking about?
You just lied.
He won 4 scoring titles.
We talking about the year that LeBron joined Wade.
Again, I don't think Wade was that good the year LeBron got there.
Sir,
he was ready to decline.
2009 and 2010, that was the year that Iverson came back to the league and played for Philly, and he only played 25 games, sir, and he averaged about 11 points. Are you still on record saying that he was better than Wade that year?
Maybe not that year.
Okay, all right. The year before that, 2008. 2008 in Detroit, when he was 33, 2008 in Detroit, he played 54 games, didn't make All-Star. He averaged 14 points. Was he better than Wade in 2008 when he averaged 14?
No. Was he
better than Wade? Was he better than Wade?
This is your problem.
When he was in Denver?
Something, and then you want to continue on it.
Was he better than Wade when he was in Denver where he averaged 19 points?
The first year he got to Denver, yes.
No, the year he averaged 19 points, sir. Was he better than Wade?
Well, no, the year he averaged 19, no. But the year the first year he got to Denver, he was still better than Wade.
He averaged 19 points that year too, sir.
No, he was. Didn't average 19 that year.
I'm looking at it. He averaged 19 points that year too, sir.
Not in his first year. Not in his first year.
Sir, I'm telling you. Let me double check. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong.
He had a lot of 40 and 48 and 40 and 30 something games.
Okay, you're right. You're right. He averaged 17 in 08, 09. He averaged 18 in 08. He averaged 13 in 2009, 2010. The point is
was he moving to Detroit?
Yeah, but the point is this: he wasn't better than Wade the year that LeBron joined them in the Heat. So here's my question again. The year that LeBron joined Wade in Miami, who was a better shooting guard than Wade other than Kobe Bryant?
I will need to go through a list of all the teams that were there and see who was there.
Well, why you didn't do that before you threw Iverson out there and made yourself look silly?
Oh, you just asked me, and I try to do it mentally.
Well, you should have just said you didn't know. You shouldn't just lie. You shouldn't have lied. You shouldn't have lied. You didn't have to lie.
Was Bush better than Gasol?
Was who?
Was Bush better than Gasol?
That's a good question. What you think?
No, not even close.
So you don't think Bosh was better than Gasol? Okay, cool. That's fine. So what's your point?
What about you? What do you think?
Huh?
What's your opinion on it?
I think they both was very good. I think
Gasol was a much better player, more accomplished.
That's fine.
Player.
I don't care who was accomplished and who wasn't accomplished. I mean, the fact of the matter is when you go play third fiddle behind Wade and LeBron on the super team, your accomplishments is not going to be that big. But when you go and play for Kobe in the triangle offense and you're the number 2, you're going to have some accomplishments. So yeah, Bosh got the short end of the stick. But as far as who the better player is, I mean, they're different players. One, I think Gasol's a little taller and a little longer, so his shot blocking might be a little bit better.
I think the Lakers team was a better all-around team.
They both was a great post player. Bosh was able to expand his game to the 3-point line. He was a great defender and a great rebounder. They both was great players. But guess what? The point is, LeBron had Bosh, who was very close to Gasol. If you think Gasol is better, it's fine, but they're on the same level. Imagine if LeBron had Bosh as his number 2 and he didn't have Wade. That's what Kobe. That's what Kobe Bryant had. He had Gasol as his number 2. He didn't have a Wade level player who was a top 5 player in the league and a top 2 player at his position. He didn't have that. If he would have, so what LeBron did with Wade and Bosh would have been equal to what Kobe would have done if he would have got Brandon Ward to join him with Gasol.
There's no metrics in which Kobe is better than LeBron. Nothing.
You don't need metrics. You just need to watch the game.
There's nothing that Kobe did better than LeBron. Nothing, not even shooting.
Okay. If you believe that, it ain't no point to even debate that.
That's not what I believe. Those are the stats. Look at it.
Yeah,
nothing did better than LeBron.
No, ain't no way a dude with robotic mechanics would shoot his elbows out a better shooter than Kobe Bryant. That's not.
Kobe Bryant was a 45% shooter, 32% from 3. What's wrong with you?
45% shooter from where, Guillermo?
From the field.
Okay, so we're talking about shooting, right? So you're taking layups and dunks out, correct?
No, shooter. I don't give a shit.
No. Shooting is not dunks and layups, sir.
Bro, Brown was a better shooter from 3.
Sir, if I give you the basketball and tell you to show me a jump shot and you go in and dunk the basketball, I'm going to call you an idiot. Shooting and dunking is not the same thing. Please tell me you don't think shooting and dunking is the same thing.
Field goal percentage.
Is shooting and dunking the same thing, Guillermo?
Bro, the statistics are
Is
there.
shooting and dunking the same thing, Guillermo?
You're delusional, man.
Answer the question. All right, this your last chance to answer that, and you already know what's about to happen. Is shooting and dunking the same thing?
No.
Thank you.
So what?
Thank you. So what is the percentages when you take dunks and layups out? What is the percentages of LeBron's shooting?
LeBron has a better percentage all around.
You can Google. It's already been done. They've already accounted for LeBron shooting from 4 feet and out without layups and dunks. They've already accounted for it without shooting layups and dunks. And when you take his percentages, it's half of what Kobe's is.
So you're trying to change your statistics.
You are a new fool, and you need to get LeBron's dick out of your mouth. That's what you need to do.
Really?
You are an idiot. You are an idiot.
LeBron shot 50% all his career, and Kobe probably
Sir,
never
that's
did
not
it
shooting.
once or twice.
You said he was a better shooter, and you talking about dunks and layups. Get out of here, man.
Let's go to the 3-point line. He was a better shooter.
Let's go to the free throw line. Those are free. Go to the free throw line. That is very different because the difference between LeBron's 3-point and Kobe's 3-point is no one is ever giving Kobe an open three. People give LeBron open threes.
Oh man, no, come on.
What's the scouting report for LeBron? Do you go under his screens or over?
Oh my goodness.
Do you go under LeBron's screens or over?
Bro, you have an issue.
Do you go under LeBron's screens or over?
You got
Do you
issues.
go under LeBron's screens or over?
You got issues, brother.
Do you like men or no?
I like you as a person.
Do you
I
go under LeBron's screens or over?
You're delusional. What you're saying.
Do you go under LeBron's screens or over?
It doesn't matter where you go through. He's a better shooter.
You can't make that argument with dunks and layups, sir. I bid you a good night, man. Thank you for calling. Yo, do you go under LeBron's screens or over? Right. So, I mean, this is weird. Dunks and layups are not shooting. You can't tell me LeBron is a better shooter than Kobe Bryant. What sense do they make? Caller from Mississippi. This is the last call, man. I gotta move to the next topic. What's up? Make it,
man. I ain't gonna keep it long, man. This Nino, man.
Nino, what's good, brother? What's good?
Big brother fan, bro. You gotta stop paying these folks to come over here and don't know basketball. And I'm a Bron fan now. Listen, nobody in the chat comment with it. Everybody watch basketball know Bron don't shoot better than Kobe. I couldn't even listen. We gotta stop this now. I see why I give y'all a pass of what y'all think these Bron fans. I'm a Bron fan too, but we can't be saying shit like this now.
Yeah, man. This
Come on,
insane,
man. Y'all, if y'all Bron fan and not basketball fan, then that's different. They gotta be two different things. Nobody ever said Bron shoot better than Kobe. That's crazy.
Guillermo did.
He ain't I don't think these folks be watching basketball for real. I think Bron might.
I don't think some of these dudes watch the games. I think they just Google stats so they can come and debate people. Like I think most people like debating and they don't like basketball.
That's what done killed it. That's what done killed it.
It's a lot of people in the basketball community, or not basketball community, the NBA community that are just here to argue. Like it helps them get their most dudes will go home. If they got a significant other, man, they get their girl, they get that aggression out, the way we supposed to get that aggression out, right? But it's some dudes that ain't getting none of that right there, right? So they get their aggression out by calling other dudes and arguing, right? This makes their day. They don't miss a live. They come over here, they get their aggression out, and they just argue stupid stuff, and that's how they get their rocks off. You get what I'm saying? I guarantee that dude butt naked playing with his feet while he on the phone with me. So, but look, this the thing though. With is either they like to argue or they like men, which would explain why they like LeBron. No. You got to say that this is some weird behavior for you to be on, like Guillermo and some of these other dudes. They are on almost every NBA podcast that thinks Kobe is better than LeBron. And
I don't think that they realize, like, just listen to them talk. I don't think they real basketball, which I try not to call in, but the comments gonna be like, y'all Bron fans. But it's Bron fans, I heard real logic. Even if I think Bron better than Kobe, I'm not just one of those.
Bro, you the only one.
I heard people say Bron way better than Kobe, way better. Now we can't go way better than
Kobe. Bro, you the only one with logic. You the only one with logic, bro.
It gotta be some more. It gotta be some more. But that shit there, come on, man. If Bron, I'm gonna be honest with you. if Bron was a good shooter, it wouldn't be close now. The GOAT debate wouldn't be close. That's what really stopped Bron. Come on, shooting, Kobe? Come on now, we can't. If you listening in the comment, bro, Bron fans, real basketball fans, I don't talk to this Bron fan, basketball fans. We do not, please don't say that. Don't say no stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Like I heard someone say Bron shoot better than MJ and Kobe. Do you know MJ's mid-range? That's like the most. I don't think they know basketball, man.
No,
I
they
like to
don't.
hear you talk about, even when you say Bron, you say, oh, because I can see why you say that. You like scores and shooting and complete games. So you say Bron, but I heard someone say Bron ain't in the top 100. I heard you say, well, he go down, but I ain't gonna send him out of the top 75. That's logical.
That's not
You
logical.
can explain basketball. You can explain it. It's a lot of podcasts that can't talk no X's and O's, which it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, they need to do some homework. But don't have them. Don't pay them, bro. Don't pay them people calling this Bron fan. Stop that.
Bruh.
Stop that, man.
Every time he called, I think he gonna have common sense, but I guess you don't get that overnight.
I never heard nobody say Bron shoot better than Kobe. I never heard that before.
Hey man, you heard it here.
Have you heard that?
Yeah, I heard that, and he like he won't even answer a question, sir. Are you talking about dunks and layups? He can't even answer the question. Like, it's crazy. Like
one more thing too. He went answer. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Wade was definitely at least top 3. I'm saying top 2 because I don't remember who else was top 2, top 3 shooting guard in the league when they joined up. Definitely. Stop it. Let's go now. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, the only other person you probably could say other than Kobe was maybe Brandon Roy, maybe, but Wade was
who?
Maybe Brandon Roy.
Oh,
at that time, but hold on, let me see if was he even was it what year did Brandon Roy come in the league? Because he ain't even on this list. I'm looking at the top 10 scorers.
He came in 06, did he come in 06?
Brandon Roy?
Yeah, when Brandon Roy come in 06?
Yeah,
Brandon Roy was.
He
he ain't even gonna know Brandon Roy for real because that's basketball stuff. Brandon Roy was cold.
Yeah, he was
Brandon
cold.
Roy.
Yeah, it was Wade.
But Kobe, come on, man, we gotta stop disrespecting Kobe.
It was Wade right after Kobe at the position, and there was a good argument that Wade was top 5 for sure. So you had 2 top 5 players.
If you want to make a case, make a real basketball case. Don't say nobody stop saying like Kobe is garbage. That's basketball. You can't talk basketball. That's how people make it seem. They try to make a Bron case. I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's not. Bron said, listen, if you're a real Bron fan, basketball fan like me, you remember Bron was in the league like right before he joined the Heat, and they asked him who was the best player in the league. What did he say, Mel? Who did he say?
I don't know who he say. I don't remember.
Kobe. Said Kobe because he got no weed. He do everything on the team.
Yeah. Oh yeah. LeBron did say that. Yeah.
It was no. So we ain't. Oh, I'm gonna let you go, man. I'm watching your show, but I was like, no wonder they think we crazy. They gonna think we crazy, man. Kobe shot free throws with his left, and a big Bron fan. I don't know if his hands or what. Bron is not a great. Not even a good free throw shooter.
No,
decent.
he's not.
I think he's decent.
He's not, man. We got to stop it with this. LeBron can shoot, man. We know he can't shoot, man. But yeah, thanks for the call, you know.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
All right, no problem. All right, that's it for that topic, man. This is a good comment, Guillermo. I want to see you break down a couple of b-ball players. I want to see where your headspace is at. That'd be great. I would love to sit down with Guillermo and watch the game and have him break it down on what he's seeing. I would love to see Guillermo take a couple of 10-year-olds and coach them for about 2 weeks, and I just want to see what those 10-year-olds go be. I would like to see Guillermo teach a 7-year-old how to shoot. Right? I would like to see all of those things because only thing I know that Guillermo can do is Google stats. He ain't no real basketball player, man. Oh man. All right, let's get to this last topic, man. This is a series of players. If y'all can see the thumbnail, not the thumbnail, but y'all can see that picture that says the NBA is dying with that old looking Evil Dead Adam Silver up there, right? That's a an episode I did probably like 5-6 months ago. Y'all can go find that one, and you can hear everything I broke down on what's going on with the NBA. This was last season, right? I was telling you everything that was wrong with the NBA, the style of play, the no emphasis on defense, rewarding bad players is being MVPs or the best players in the league on these ranking boards and stuff like that. And all of that goes into it, right? And the voices of the people who's calling out how bad the NBA product is getting louder and louder, and it's getting more plentiful and more plentiful. I just did an episode last week of Shaquille O'Neal saying it was trash. I did one last year, Charles Oakley saying it. I mean, it's so many different players coming out telling you we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Adam Silver did an interview with Kevin Garnett last year, and he asked him, the scoring is too much. Is there going to be a change? Are we going to bring hand check back? And Adam Silver was like, well, no, like, a big physical player was getting too much of an advantage, and we wasn't able to see the skill from the more skilled players because the physical players was overpowering them. So he used Steph Curry as an example, like, that beautiful game that Steph Curry is showing us with his shooting and his freedom of movement and him being able to float through the paint without getting hit in the mouth and all that stuff. It was like, it wasn't a good brand of basketball to see a physical guy beat him up. But he would much rather give the advantage to the more skilled guy, or a big guy like Rudy Gobert be at the 3-point line for a game winner against Luka, and Luka is saying, "May I have this dance?" Right? So he would rather disadvantage the big man or the physical guy, so the much smaller or more nimble or more finesse player or more skilled player that he used can have an advantage at all times, because that's more pleasing to the eye of a casual fan, of a fan who doesn't play basketball. Because if you played basketball, you felt that physicality when you're growing up, if you're my age, and you watched it in the NBA and you appreciate it, and you appreciate defense, because if I have Arnold Palmer, which is a mix of lemonade and iced tea, it's not an Arnold Palmer unless I mix both of them, right? So if I just got the tea, it's just tea. If I just got the lemonade, it's just lemonade. So if I mix in offense and defense, then I have basketball. But if I just have offense, I don't have basketball. I just got offense. So we're not watching National Basketball Association. We're watching National Offense Association. It's just offense out there. It's not defense. They took defense away, right? So I don't have a full basketball mix because it takes 50% offense, 50% defense. Adam Silver turned the sliders up on offense all the way to 98, and defense is on a 2. He is uneven sliders. Put both of them at 50 so we can see real basketball, right? But anyway, I explained all that stuff, and it's just refreshing to hear so many former players come out and pretty much say the same things I was saying in that live, right? So this first guy, Cuttino Mobley, teammate of Steve Francis, real good friend of Steve Francis. They both played in the backcourt for the Houston Rockets, and they were cooking. I don't know what cut Mobley came from with that left hand, but if I was to give him a player comp to a player that's playing now, I would say he was all of what De'Aaron Fox was. Both left-handed, both quick, both got that nice job. I think he shoot better than De'Aaron Fox. I think De'Aaron Fox's defense might be better. But then again, in this era, I mean, Cut Mobley defense probably would have been better because he was guarding people like Kobe back then. He was playing 2 guard while Steve Francis was playing the point. So, but yeah, I think Fox might be better at defender. But they're about the same size. Cut Mobley shoot better. Great scorer, right? Cut Mobley was a dog. And then he played in the Big 3 and was cold in his old age. So you probably could still see him play. But anyway, he spoke about it. He was on the podcast, and they asked him about this era of basketball, and he's giving his thoughts on what's wrong with it.
The NBA. Give me the top 10 scorers in the NBA. Right? You can look them up right now. Top 10 scorers in the NBA. Look them up right now. and then give me the top 10, top 5 best players in the NBA right now.
I know it. I know what you're gonna say. They got an in-between game,
Kobe
right?
Bryant, Michael
in-between
Jordan,
game.
Larry
All
Bird,
of them got in-between
Kevin
game.
Durant,
I know
Devin
exactly
Booker,
what you're gonna say.
Anthony Edwards.
In-between game.
These people
but they're
have never
getting
played
rid
the game.
of it. What are they doing?
These people have never played the game can go kiss ass. They're stupid.
It doesn't make
They're
any
so
sense.
stupid. Doesn't even make sense. Steph Curry
Makes
shoots
no
threes.
sense.
Steph Curry shoots threes, but he shoots pull-up twos too.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Also, what's killing me, why is our power forwards now 6'8" and they shoot threes?
Yeah.
And that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yep.
I'm just like, a power forward is 6'11", 6'10".
In a household, right?
Right.
There's mom, there's dad, hopefully both, right? And then there's kids. Okay. So dad gonna do everything mom do? What mom gonna do? Mom gonna do everything dad do? What dad gonna do? That's what broken homes happen.
There you go.
So if Chris Paul, the reason why Chris Paul's an old school point guard, when that ball come out of him, right now in San Antonio, if Chris Paul's in that game, do you think any of those players, when that ball come off the rim, if Chris Paul is in that game, they're not gonna get that ball to Chris Paul?
He's dribbling it up. Period.
Their brain is not like his. I don't care if you can dribble the ball up or not. Yeah, I can get a 10-year-old to dribble the ball up, but can he think like that? Can he be able to set the tempo, control the game? No. So to me, it's like my 2 guard. You getting me 12 rebounds? No, that's usually what power forward does.
That's a good point. All right, so let's start at the end where what he said. He said my two guards running down here grabbing rebounds. I've said this a lot on this show, right? The way we was taught when I was growing up, right? When you get a stop on defense and you got small forward, power forward, center, they're already positioned somewhere near the paint, right? Because the guards are on the perimeter handling the ball, setting the plays up and all that stuff. Unless the point guard that you're guarding got all the way to the rim for a layup, more than likely the point guard's not going to be down there, right? But if the point guard is down there and it's me and it's Dennis Rodman right here behind me, he's 6'8" and I'm 6'1", I'm not going to try to snag that rebound from him. The way point guards were taught, or the shooting guard, let's say if the point guard ended up in the paint because he was defending someone who shot a layup and the big man got a rebound, his first thought was he was going to come down with the rebound. He's not going to bring the ball down below his daggone head. He's going to grab that rebound. He's going to turn and he's going to look for the outlet pass, right? If the point guard is not ready for the outlet pass, the shooting guard is going to be right there ready for the outlet pass. And once I get that outlet pass to him, as close to half court as possible, because he should be already streaking, because we want easy points. We want an easy basket. We want early offense. So I'm throwing the ball straight to, if I'm the big man, straight to that guard, and he's going to take that ball straight to the middle of the court, down half court, and then everyone else is going to run the lanes, right? When I'm running up the court as the point guard in the middle of the floor, I should have someone on the left side of me running the lanes. I should have someone on the right side of me running the lanes. The big man that got the rebound is going to be trailing because he was the last person up. I got the rebound. I made the outlet pass. Either he's going to take one of the lanes, but whatever big man don't take that other lane is going to trail behind him. But everyone's running lanes. And it's early offense. If someone got a crease, I'm giving the ball up early. I don't have to dribble all the way to the rim before I get the ball up. Like we're not seeing real basketball. What we're seeing is that everyone's playing defense, and then someone like Luka, because they want Luka to run the break so he can get all the assists, he's grabbing the rebounds. And it's big men moving out of the way so the point guards can get the rebounds. And I'm like, look, Mobley said, if everyone's doing everyone else's job, then someone is useless out here, right? If I'm the man of the house and I'm with a woman who want to do all my stuff, I got 2 choices. Either I do nothing or I turn into the woman and start doing the woman stuff. So, and that's just backwards. So if I'm a point guard and I'm designed to run the break and get outlet passes from my big man after he get the rebound, but I'm coming down there grabbing the big man's rebound, now what is the big man going to do? Because you won't let me run the break like the point guard because you're getting the rebound and running the break. So what is the big man going to do? What is my job now? Big men used to get paid to rebound and play defense. Now I can't even rebound because you want the point guard to get it. You want Luka to get the rebound. You want Westbrook to get the rebound. You want LeBron to get the rebound. What are the big men for? Right? So that's a confusing thing. That's what Cut Mosley is talking about. Right? Everybody's supposed to have a role like Charles Oakley, Charles Barkley. Like those are the type of things they had in their contract is, rebounding and stuff like that. So if a guard came there and trying to grab a rebound from me, I'm gonna break you. We go fight at halftime in the locker room. You coming out here, grab every rebound you grab. That's money you taking out of my pocket, and that's food you taking off my kid's table. Every rebound you get, I got that, because if you start grabbing these rebounds, they gonna start looking at me like, then what do we got him for? Why are we paying him? You can't grab my money. If they're paying you to score points, why are you down here grabbing my rebounds? They paying me to rebound. Right. So that's one thing Cut was talking about. Then he talked about how they just don't even utilize the mid-range at all. Everybody's shooting threes. He was like, but when you really look at the best players in the league, they all got the midi. Kobe, Michael, Steph, Kyrie, KD, Wade, they all had the midi. Sean Livingston, David West, they got the midi. Sam Cassell. Like Chris Paul, they got the midi. You don't get rid of that. That's part of the game, right? So he was like, that's part of why, this is so jacked up to watch. But that's not the last person that said something about it. So not Kevin Garnett, but T-Mac was on Kevin Garnett's podcast. So maybe that's why Kevin Garnett name popped in my head. So T-Mac was on Kevin Garnett's podcast. And he asked him about, hey man, what do you think the issue is, man, with the NBA? What do you think the problem is? Guess what T-Mac said.
You're trying to do these moves when the defense is just sitting on you. You're trying to be too creative. You're trying to do too much. Whereas you gotta, sometimes you just gotta keep it simple.
He giving you right, go right.
You got to keep it simple.
Don't go right, snatch him back.
That's
go,
right. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of wasted dribbling, right?
2 dribble max, bro. If you can do something with 2 dribble max, that tells me your level of expertise.
You had to in our era, bro. You couldn't get to the paint like that.
One dribble, what?
You had to have a bag off a 1 dribble or 2 dribble pull up. You had to, right? 3 at the max. Where's the originality at? It's like all these guys are doing the same move. It seems like they all training with the same trainer. The originality is lost. And that's what I'm seeing.
Does it turn you off from watching it?
Yeah.
He said, does it turn you off from watching it? Yes, it does. No originality. Everyone's doing the same thing. It's cookie cutter. You ever drove through a neighborhood? And I hate when neighborhoods do this. They call the houses cookie cutters, because you have this developer come in and they'll build the same exact house all the way down, and they give you this much space between the houses. Same exact house, same exact front yard, same size, same lot, and it's the same house all the way down on both sides of the street. They call those cookie cutters, because you just same shape, same size, same cookie cutter. That's the offense in today's game, right? I looked up how many threes. It's crazy when you look at the numbers, right? So everyone wants to get threes up. Somehow the analytics and the nerds came in and convinced the basketball players that it's a good idea to abandon the 2-point shot. They call it the long 2, the worst shot in the basketball in basketball, because it's almost the same distance as a 3, but you only get 2 for it. So they say that's the worst shot in basketball. You know how many times I've seen Kobe catch the ball at the 3-point line, defender running at him, and he pump fakes and in rhythm steps in for a midi, 1 dribble pull up, routine. What now people, when someone running at them from the 3-point line, remember they used to call it running you off the 3-point line. Like that's what they like. When the defense is rotating and the ball is moving and he gets to an open player and he's a shooter, You can't lollygag and just step out with your hand out here. You have to run at him to run him off the 3-point line, because what you want that shooter to do, like Klay Thompson, I don't want Klay to get that uncontested 3. I want to run him off, make him dribble into a layup. At least my defense will be down there. Maybe my defense can rotate and contest. But I'm running him off the 3-point line because I don't want to give up a 3. Well, when they ran Kobe off the 3-point line, he would take a step in after the pump fake and pull up a midi. The players now, not even, I can understand Steph, Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, somebody who shoots the lights out. I can understand them stepping back into a 3. But every player, if they're in a 2-point range and you try to run at them, they're pump faking and then stepping back to a 3-pointer, because they've been taught that a 2-point jump shot alone 2 is a bad shot, and it's the worst shot in basketball. That's what they're teaching, right? So there's a lot of 3s going up. So I went all the way back to 2001, and the team that shot the least amount of 3-pointers back then shot around 9 3-pointers a game, right? I looked at this year. The team that shoots the least amount of 3-pointers this year shoots 32 a game. So the floor in 2001 was 9 a game. The floor in 2024 is 32 3-pointers a game, right? Then I went to 2001 and went to the ceiling. The most 3 shot that year was 23 a game. So the most 3s a team shot a game in 2001 was 23, which is 9 less than the worst team this year. The number 1 team this year in shooting 3s is Boston. They shoot 50 3s a game. 50. Let that sink in. Now they won like that, but 53s, and it seems like JJ Redick, when he had his first press conference with the Lakers, he said, I think they shot 53s in a preseason game, or maybe 40, and he had already said that his goal was to shoot more 3s. He already said when he was on a podcast with LeBron that he don't think he shoot enough 3s. He want him and AD to shoot more 3s, right? Because he shot it at a great percentage this year or last year. So we knew his goal coming into the Lakers was to have them shoot more 3s. So after they shot 40 something in the preseason game, they interviewed him out there, and he said, he was like, "What you think about the offense?" He was like, "Oh man, I loved it because we shot 43s. Maybe we can get it up to 50 or 60." And I was like, man, he can't be real. You can't want 50 or 60. But then when I look at Boston, they're shooting 50. And then the number 2 team is the Charlotte Hornets. They're shooting in the 40s, which makes sense because Charles Lee, who's coaching the Charlotte Hornets, used to be on the staff for Boston last year. So his philosophy, that either his philosophy or the philosophy he learned while he was in Boston, he's giving it to Charlotte, and that's why LaMelo Anthony shooting so many. Not LaMelo Anthony, LaMelo Ball shooting so many 3s this year. He shot 23s last game. Not this last game because he didn't play this last game, but the game before last, he shot 23s. He's playing like Luka, just jacking them up. I don't like it, but I do kind of like it because his numbers are huge, and I want hypocrites that praise Luka for the same play style and the same stat line. I want to find hypocrites that's not going to praise Melo for doing it. Now, I don't like when Luka do it, and I don't like when Melo do it. So I'm consistent. But I want to hear someone criticize Melo for his play style when it's the same thing that Luka has been doing since he got in the league. I want to hear the criticism of that so I can see who the hypocrite is. So I like it just so I can keep people honest, but I don't like it, for winning. I don't think it's a winning style. But when you got superstars like Brown and Tatum who also lock up on defense, and then you got a unicorn like Porzingis, and then you got another lockdown defender in Drew Holiday and another lockdown defender in Derek White, and another lockdown defender in Al Horford. Like, that's the difference that's making this work. And that's the difference that people didn't understand what Golden State was doing with Steph. Yes, Steph and Clay was shooting a lot of threes, but they didn't understand they had a lockdown defender in Draymond Green. They had a lockdown defender in Iguodala. They had a lockdown defender at the rim as a rim protecting Vestas Azili and Andrew Bogut. Right? They had a lockdown defender in Harrison Barnes. Like, the team was stacked with people that was going to lock up and defend. Right? The Magic, whatever Magic that Denver had that was working. They had a lockdown defender in Bruce Brown. They had a lockdown defender in Caldwell Pope, a great defender. Aaron Gordon was a lockdown defender. Jeff Green coming off the bench, really great defender, used to be locked down. Right? And as soon as they let Bruce Brown go and Jeff Green go and Caldwell Pope go, you don't see Denver doing so well. So it's not the offense that's making everything go. It's the fact that you're able to find players that can play that offense and play defense. That's the magic. And every team doesn't understand that they need that magic. Defense has to be, you have to be able to lock up. All right. So with T-Mac saying everybody's playing the same style, he was right. Right. Nobody's is not different. It's the same thing, and it's boring to watch. It's boring to see people not play basketball. They're playing computer analytics. The computer is telling them what to do and how to play, and it's nerds that's doing it, not basketball guys, right? Then BJ Armstrong also was talking about this, and this is from a podcast called Hoop Genius. BJ Armstrong is either a co-host on Hoop Genius or he's a regular guest on Hoop Genius. I've used their content before, and I want to make sure I give them a shout out. Hoop Genius, go subscribe to them on YouTube if you want to hear BJ Armstrong talk. I love when BJ Armstrong gives breakdown because he really goes into it. A guy who played in the best era of basketball in the 90s, played with the best player in basketball, played with the best co-star and Scottie Pippen, played with the best coach and Phil Jackson. So he got a lot of great perspective, right? Then he was being a front office guy for a team, I think Golden State. And he's also been, like, right now, I think he's an agent, right? So he's got so many different perspectives on this. I like to hear him talk about it. This is what he said about the new era of the NBA.
What I don't like about the game, NBA personnel, executives, head coaches, analytic people tell me to my face, Mo, a 2-point shot now is a bad shot. We only want 3 shots. We want the corner threes, layups, okay, or we want to get to the free throw line. I don't understand. All I know is the best players all shoot mid-range shots. So when I go watch the game, there's no more creativity. There's no more imagination. We have basically robots running up and down the court. You run to the 3-point line, I run to the 3-point line. I'm beginning to question the teachers of the game. I'm questioning everybody now. I'm not going to be mad at the players. This is what's being taught here. We've stripped the players of any type of imagination. It's more fun for me to go watch a pickup game than to watch the NBA right now. No one plays the same exact way in the pickup game. But when you watch an NBA game, everyone plays the same exact way. What?
Man, this dude said he enjoyed, like, listen, these are former players. You know, they would rather not sit here and talk bad about the league that has changed their lives, gave them financial freedom, right? Continue to make money off. I mean, like, he's an agent. He continues to make money off the NBA. They don't want to come out here and say this stuff. This is a cry for help. Like they're very tired of the product on the floor, and they're trying to tell people. Like, Kevin Garnett was sitting right in front of Adam Silver interviewing, and he's telling him, are we going to bring back defense? Are we going to bring back the hand check? And Adam Silver was like, no, that's not a good brand of basketball. It's better to see people run around freely and get shots up. Like, that's more exciting. He really think that defense being 50% of the basketball is better left out or better minimized. No, if you like basketball, you like defense as much as you like offense. There was defensive teams that, man, I want to see how this is going to work out, man. You got the New York Knicks who play a physical brand of defense. They had Anthony Mason, they had Charles Oakley, they had Pat Ewing, they had Charles Smith, they had Derek Harper, who everyone talks about being the best hand check point guard of his era. Great defender. You had John Starks, who was okay as a defender. You had Greg Anthony, who was another great defender. The New York Knicks with Pat Riley was stacked with defenders. They got their points from Pat Ewing. Oakley wasn't a scorer. Charles Smith wasn't a scorer. Off the bench, Anthony Mason was a point forward. So he was somewhat of a scorer. He'd get you 10 to 12 points off the bench, maybe 10 points, maybe. John Starks was Patrick Ewing's number 2 offensive guy. So really that team was built on defense. We want to see if they can stop Jordan. That was a good match to watch. What is the great scorer of Michael Jordan going to do against this great defense in the Knicks? Or what is he going to do against the Pistons? These great defensive. What are you going to do against Portland? All those guys they had. It's good to see that clash. Or even in football, you got a great defense in the Pittsburgh Steelers or the great defense of the Baltimore Ravens playing the Colts with their great offense. How's that going to play out? Who's gonna win? But if everyone is doing the same, if everyone is playing like James Harden, give your best player the ball, spread the floor, set screen, and everybody on defense is going to switch every screen, and then we're going to see that best player go one-on-one with a mismatch. If he can get downhill for a layup or draw a foul, great. If not, step back and shoot a 3. Everyone's doing that. It's not fun to watch. Everyone's switching every screen, and everyone's playing 5-man out. Let's get up as many threes as possible. Like, I don't understand how someone sat down and was like, yeah, that's what we want to do. But I think what Adam Silver and everyone else that are agreeing that they want to keep going down this path, they're seeing is that the sponsors and the networks, they're like, look, man, people watching, we getting ratings. Hey, man, keep doing what you do. They don't care that the basketball is suffering as a product on the floor. They don't care that it's suffering, right? Because all they see is the money is growing. Man, hey, they keep giving us money. Fine. And why are they getting such big money right now? Just think about what just happened right before the CBA. Last year or 2 years ago, betting in the NBA became legal. Betting in sports became legal. So Vegas is really heavily involved. Vegas is not in the business of losing money, right? Everyone knows the house always wins. So if Vegas get involved with anything, you already know, they already know they're going to win. So if betting is and Vegas is getting involved with the NBA, that lets you know the NBA has got to make sure that they don't lose. What happened when DeJounte Porter, Michael Porter Jr.'s brother that played for Toronto? What happened when he got caught betting on sports? And the way he got caught is because he won a buttload of money. All right. So he won a buttload of money and they investigated him because why? You're not supposed to win. How did you win? So if you win, you get investigated. That lets you know you're not supposed to win. You won $1 million. They went and told the NBA, and the NBA investigated and was like, "Oh, you bet on a game that you were supposed to play in." So so he's suspended for life from the NBA. Vegas and the NBA are in bed together. How the hell is a player going to bet on a game that's legal, win money, and then Vegas tell on them? NBA investigated him and be like, "Yep, we got you. You broke the rules." I didn't even know that was like, really? Like it was a game that he was injured, he couldn't play in, and I can't remember what he bet on. He bet on something for his team, but he wasn't playing in the game. And somehow he broke a rule and got banned for life. right? So that just lets you know Vegas is involved, right? Vegas got a way to make a lot of money, and it's just all connected. The networks is paying them all this big money. You know, games being rigged. I don't know. Everyone that's involved with the NBA knows that they're going to make their money because they don't have no problem giving $11 billion to the NBA over the next 6 years for a contract, right? That's a lot of money. The money is rolling in. They can care less about the basketball product. We're going to get our money, right? So that's why the basketball is suffering, because no one cares about the basketball. We just care that we can keep this thing going and keep this money generating. Basketball sucks, but the people, there's no competitor. Like, if you like basketball and you're addicted to basketball, it could be the worst game in the world. You're still going to watch because you're addicted to basketball, right? So we're going to just keep complaining, but we're going to keep turning in to watch because we can't watch basketball nowhere else. And Adam Silver knows that. You'll be back. There's nothing else for you to do. And everybody that tries to form a new league, like Big Three with Ice Cube, the NBA looking at them like competitors, and they don't even got 5-on-5 basketball. It's 3-on-3. But I think they kind of fear that they could be a Trojan horse, which I hope they are. I hope Ice Cube eventually says, you know what? NBA sucks so bad. This is the perfect opportunity for me to turn the Big Three into 5-on-5 basketball. Turn it into a full-blown league. And then take all of their players that's not under contract. Go get the overseas players. All these players have been trying to get in the NBA, can't get in there. I'll take them and do all of that. But we'll know what happened. Big bank take little bank. NBA got all this partnership with Amazon. Amazon just paid them $11 billion. Nike and TNT and all these people, there's no way they're going to allow another league to come in and take their business, because that means they're going to lose money. We just get them $11 billion, and now LeBron plays in the Big Three. KD left. Like, you know, it's not going to happen. They would try to poison Ice Cube before they let that happen. But my point is this: there's no competition, so they can suck, and there's nowhere else where we can go get 5-on-5 basketball with the best players. So they got us trapped. So that's what's going on. Here's the last thing about this era, and it was Alonzo Mourning on Big Shaq's podcast, and the question was asked, who do you think playing in this era can handle the physicality of the 90s?
I appreciate it.
Yeah. What percentage of NBA players do you think can handle the way that you guys used to work and the way that how physical and how demanding? How many NBA players today? Zero?
Oh, players?
Yeah,
well,
not regular.
Well, it's a couple that got the end of us, like LeBron and KD and those guys, but new ones, I don't know. Hard to say. Big guys, maybe Joker.
Maybe Joker.
Maybe Joker.
You know what? Giannis.
You think Giannis?
I think just how hard he goes.
He goes hard. Yeah, but you don't think he's too light?
I think he would have. Yeah, I mean, he still takes a beating, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he takes a beating. I think Giannis, man, he's cut up like I was. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I can see that. Giannis.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you what. Terry Cummins, Oak, Anthony Mason, Ray Kite.
Remember those days?
Hey, you let them boys lay that wood on you. They take you out of the air.
They would.
Rick Mahorn.
Oh.
I mean, the list goes on.
This is regular season, too?
Oh, yeah. We don't have that no more. We don't have that no more. I mean, those guys, the guys in this area have not felt physicality until they felt those guys.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Buck Williams? Are you kidding me? I mean, come on, man. The physicality of the game back then, it was unreal, you know, which is another reason why I stayed in the weight room, man. I mean, I had to stay strong. Otherwise, they will break you down.
That's another thing we do. That's another thing we do after 3-hour practice is be in the weight room.
Versa climber?
Oh, Versa climbing, curls, and Pat be like, you need to get in the weight room. Like, I'm like, nah, I'm going to the crib, eat me a burger.
Hey, listen, my body was.
Shaq lazy, but yeah, you heard Zoe say it, man. He said the physicality. These guys that are playing now don't know that they've never felt physicality yet until they play against some guys that they played against in the 90s. And he named guys that wasn't like the stars. He named Buck Williams, a strong guy that played for Portland. Like, these are the dudes Jordan went up against. Buck Williams played for Portland. They had 7-foot Kevin Duckworth. They had Jerome Kersey, another big forward. They had Cliff Robinson, who was a big 6'11", agile power forward. Like, they had some big old dudes. And then Terry Porter, great defender, right? Then you got Drexler. He was empowering. Like, they weren't no small dudes, right? I mean, he talking about Buck Williams. He talking about all those type of guys. Strong country boys. The Davis brothers in Indiana playing with Rick Smits and Derek McKee and Reggie Miller and Mark Jackson. I mean, you gotta be ready for this. These dudes were strong and was knocking you around, right? This is why the European bigs, when they came in the league, they had to bow down because they were being so physical with them, punching them, smacking them, throwing them around, talking about their mama. They ain't never seen nothing like that. So if they wasn't ready for the physicality on one end, and then on the other hand, they wasn't ready for the psychological warfare that they was playing, it was a learning curve. It was a learning curve for those guys, right? That learning curve don't exist no more because they took that aggression out. It's almost like if you got zoo animals in the cage, but you done shot them up with all types of dope to kind of make them just docile, right? You got some lions and they all doped up. You done took their teeth. You done took their teeth in and you declawed them. Imagine a lion with no claws, no canines, right? And he on drugs, half sleep out there, and then you throw a hyena in there, and then you say, man, these hyenas right here are better than the ones in the jungle because the one in the jungles get ate. Like, they can't get ate. The lions ain't got no teeth, they ain't got no claws, and they on drugs. That's what the Lions of the NBA is now. The rules are a leash for them, and it's drugs. The fact that they can't put their hands on nobody and be physical is taking their teeth and their claws away. So you got a bunch of gazelles out there who ain't physical, who can't mess with a lion, out there just dancing around, running all through the paint, throwing layups up, laughing. You can't touch me. You can't touch me. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. All of this crazy stuff, right? You got them just running around free, and it's because you changed the rules so they can't put their hands on them, and you drugged them because everything is a flagrant now. So yeah, that's why the gazelles are ruling the NBA. That's why the NBA looks so trash. Physicality don't exist no more, man. So, and Zoe, he said, man, he didn't name a lot of people. He said Giannis, he said Jokic. It's not a lot of people that he, and he said the guys that, that got a little piece of the physicality, like LeBron, they came in, toward the tail end of it, but it turned into something totally different with these new guys, man. So he was like, man, these new guys, man, I don't know how many of them can handle it, man. I mean, the way Ja gets to the rim in the half court, I don't think it's going to happen when you got Derek Harper hand checking you all the way up the floor, 94 feet. And when he hand check you, his hand, they said his hands was as big as a center's, and he'll put that hand right in your hip and squeeze it where he got a hold of you, where he can kind of remote control you. Right. So he got his hands almost grabbing your hip like a claw, got a good grip on it, and he's controlling you where you can go. And he was able to do that all the way up the floor while you're trying to dribble. And you got to spin and spin. You got to go and spin and then come back and zigzag your way up the court just to get it up half court. And then when you get it up half court, you got to give it up to someone on the wing who got a live dribble, who can triple threat, because now you can protect the ball better. But when you're trying to get in that offense and you got your back turned because you done zigzagged all the way up court and you got that live dribble, now what you gonna do? How you gonna get in that offense? You got to get that ball up. And that's why it was important for that post player to be in the post, because that's a 7-footer that's not gonna get pushed around. And when you throw the ball in him, it's like a relief valve. You get the ball to the wing, you throw it right to Patrick Ewing in the post, and now your offense is started, because now either Patrick Ewing is going to get that jump hook off or a fadeaway, or the double's going to come, and now we can start passing that ball around and making that defense scramble and rotate. But Ja Morant coming up court and getting a screen and then and getting a easy path to the lane for a layup or a dunk, nah, that ain't happening. That's not happening. So how is Ja Morant going to look like a superstar when he's not getting free rim runs to the rim with a wide open lane and no 7-footer down there? It's not going to happen. But yeah, you probably would disagree with bringing back the hand check, but why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you bring back the hand check? If you want physicality and defense to be back in the league, it'll make it better basketball. Like, defense is part of basketball. Why do y'all not want it? Defense is part of basketball. Why wouldn't you want it? Hey, Michael, I'm glad you said that, but I've been looking for somebody to block tonight. I'm glad you said that. Go to another channel, ho. Go find you another channel, ho. Yeah, let's get him up out of here. Oh, man. All right, man. That's it, man. That's all I wanted to get on, man. 3.5 hours, man, I gave y'all. I'll probably go live again. I got 4 more topics I want to do tomorrow. Y'all let me know what time y'all want me to go tomorrow, man. So yeah, the hand lets you control. Well, not everybody can control the offensive player. Not everybody had those type of hands. But yeah, it lets you control the player, and it's going to make you play smarter offense. Like it automatically, it automatically makes the offense play more honest and more smart, and it automatically brings the post game back, and it automatically brings the mid range game back. Everything that's missing from the NBA automatically comes back when you bring defense back. The only reason why all these things can happen the way it's happening in the NBA because you took defense away. So when you bring defense back and you bring physical defense back, they have to play the game a certain way in order for it to work. Then you have to hire coaches that know how to coach that way. And then all these analytic guys go somewhere else. They go to baseball or hockey or wherever the hell they go. But they can get out of our sport, right? Then you get rid of them. And then the NBA media starts to call the game the way it's supposed to be called. And the NBA media will start rewarding guys that plays defense. And then guys like Luka will not be getting all this praise because he doesn't play defense. Like, so we'll start making the main thing again. Right. So that's how that will work out. But I catch y'all on the next live, man, probably tomorrow. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. Appreciate all the super chats and all the comments and all the phone calls. But other than that, man, I catch y'all on the next one. Peace.